of Ukrainians who are without heat, power or water in the freezing cold. Elsewhere, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said over 400 strikes hit Ukraine's eastern regions on Sunday alone, with blackouts scheduled for 15 regions and the city of Kyiv. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The death toll has risen to at least 56 after a strong, shallow earthquake toppled buildings on Indonesia's main island of Java.
The epicenter of the earthquake is more than 100 kilometers from the capital, in Cianjur district in West Java province. The tremor of this earthquake is the most intense I've experienced in a long time. The earthquake is 5.6 in magnitude, and it also forced people out of tall buildings, government and business buildings in the area here in Jakarta. The destruction looks pretty bad from the video circulating right now.
The BBC's Valdia Baraputri reporting from Jakarta. Stock futures are lower this morning. More on these stories at townhall.com.
It's hard to grasp why anyone would keep voting for record inflation, skyrocketing crime, and an open border. Likewise, why would anyone keep funding the left by sticking with the big carriers? Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative cell phone provider, and they want to make it easy for you to try their service. Give them 60 days to show you why I trust them. Right now, when you try Patriot Mobile for 2 months, get your third month free. Plus, get free activation. They offer a nationwide coverage on the best 4G and 5G networks, and they use the same towers as all three of the major carriers, so you get the same great service while supporting a company that's fighting to preserve our God-given rights and freedoms. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Gorka or call their 100% US-based customer service team at 972-PATRIOT. If you're fed up with woke companies that don't care about your values, support a company that does. Make the switch today and get a free month of service plus free activation. That's patriotmobile.com/GORKA 972 Patriot site.
3 prominent Democrats could lose their committee jobs if House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy becomes Speaker of the House.
McCarthy wants to remove Representatives Ilhan Omar, Adam Schiff, and Eric Swalwell from their congressional committees once Republicans take back the House. He's vowed to remove Swalwell and Schiff from the House Intelligence Committee and Omar from the House Foreign Affairs Committee. With the GOP claiming the majority next year, he may be able to keep his promise. He's likely to be selected Speaker, but does face Republican opposition. Ken Lorman reporting.
The southern Chinese metropolis of Guangzhou has locked down its largest district as it tries to tamp down a major COVID-19 outbreak. China is the only major country still trying to curb virus transmissions through strict lockdown measures and mass testing. Beijing had its first COVID-19 death yesterday in over 6 months. News and analysis at townhall.com. 2 stars of the reality TV show Chrisley Knows Best are facing possible prison time for bank fraud when they appear in federal court this week. Here's correspondent Donna Warder.
Prosecutors say Todd and Julie Chrisley secured more than $30 million in fraudulent loans and then declared bankruptcy. Prosecutors say while in bankruptcy, the Chrisleys began making millions from their TV reality show, flaunting their lavish lifestyle while hiding the money from the IRS to avoid tax payments. The Chrisleys were convicted in June on federal charges. A sentencing hearing begins today in federal court in Atlanta. Prosecutors say that based on sentencing guidelines, the upper end of what Todd Chrisley could face is nearly 22 years, and for Julie Chrisley, about 12 years. I'm Donna Warder.
And I'm Greg Clugston. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Javelin, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody. Thanksgiving week.
Countdown is on.
Shortened week.
Yep.
Thanksgiving break already on for the children's.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
My wife
Smothered in children.
My wife's sleeping as we speak. She got a cold over the weekend, like last Thursday. So
I don't
trying
know.
to get that out before we head to Albuquerque on Wednesday.
I know RSV's been going around, but does RSV, is that a thing that affects adults or is it just kids?
I have no idea.
I'm curious about that because I know RSV's been going around, so I'll be curious if that's maybe something that's affecting her too.
I have no idea.
Hunter's had just an awful cough all weekend. I've been battling with that just nonstop. Trying cough syrups, trying all sorts of different medicines, allergy medicines, and just can't nip it.
Bummer.
See? There it is. There it is right there.
Well, happy Monday.
Yes.
Hope everybody's happy. Those who got to work today, at least, short week, up and about. The rest of y'all are sleeping or getting ready for Thanksgiving plans or traveling or whatever you're doing right now.
Yeah, so now's the time to talk smack about those people because they're all sleeping. They
That's
can't
right.
hear us right now. Sure, they can go back and listen in retrospect, but it's fine.
Why would they do that? But,
Why don't you go back and listen to this show?
but happy Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. How was yours?
It was good. It was uneventful, mostly. Did the event on Saturday. That was cold.
It was. Were people out there despite the weather?
Despite the weather, we had a few. Admittedly, Quincy said it was a little slow, but I think that's because they had they set the bar really high with the breast cancer event. Like 1,000 people at the showroom. So anything's going to look small by those numbers. But it was a good weekend.
Good
for everybody around.
Good deal. Yeah, I actually made soup yesterday. It turned out pretty good.
Nice.
I was happy with myself.
Feels like this is a good soup weekend.
Yeah, I just woke up and I said, you know what? And I got on and I said, I'm going to do something in the crock pot today because I want to. And so I settled on chicken corn chowder. Turned out pretty good.
I like that.
Yeah.
I've been watching this Australian YouTube series, and just it's interesting to me to like find out about different snack foods that other countries have that I really, really want to try.
Yeah.
They have these things in Australia. They're really big. It's like a huge snack called corn jacks.
Corn jacks.
Corn jacks. And I've seen them here in the States before, it kind of shaped differently. It's basically just corn nuggets. It's
like a corn nut or
no. It's like corn, like actual corn, battered and deep fried.
Okay.
Well, I guess you can bake it, is what it says. You can bake them, but it sounds delightful.
So it's a
corn nugget, essentially.
So it's so it's not just one kernel of corn like a corn nut would be.
No, that would be an incredibly arduous endeavor, I feel like.
Well, you know how corn nuts are like like a piece of corn
Puffed
that they
up.
fried up or whatever they did to it. So it's a series of those in nugget form.
Yeah.
So it's like a corn fritter, but
think about like a tater tot,
in a chip form,
like a tater tot, but the innards are made of corn.
Okay.
I've had them like one time before, and this was years ago. I think it was from school. They had like corn nuggets at school, and they're delightful. But I've checked at stores, I can't find them.
La Grande Victoria serves in their appetizers corn nuggets.
Do they?
They're hot. They're not like a snack chip. It's like a tater tot.
Yeah.
But it's got corn. Yeah, it's delicious. I've had them over there.
Yeah.
It's in the appetizer.
Yeah. So ever since I saw that, I'm like, I want a corn jack. Sounds delightful.
La Grande Victoria has corn nuggets.
All right, I'll be seeing you soon.
They are fine and tasty. They pair well with their ginormous burgers. With the burger that's got like every meat known to man on it. That one, the hot dog and everything else on there. Yeah, that thing's delicious.
Rack
but
of
it pairs
on top.
Pairs well with corn nuggets. But I did a chicken corn chowder in the crock pot. Turned out pretty good. I would have tweaked it a bit. Hindsight, a couple things I would have done differently.
Seasoning wise, or
like the chicken I would have done differently. It called for 3 chicken breasts, and I think I would have done mixed chicken, and that way to get a little dark and white mixed in there would have been better. But Yeah, it was pretty good. You know, it was simple. It was chicken, cream corn, actually, bacon, potatoes, green chili, onion, chicken broth, and some cream, and it was pretty. It's pretty simple.
Some seasonings.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh,
Garlic
you're
powder.
right. You're right. I'm sorry. You guys don't use seasonings.
Garlic powder. Green chili.
I saw a meme. It was like, if you're gonna be trapped on an island, what's the one, or with a bunch of white people, what's the one thing you're taking? And it just showed a black dude carrying a bunch of spices. Seasonings. Yeah, I know. I like the zing from a nice cup of mayonnaise. It just really sets off the flavor of whatever you're making.
Nothing wrong with that.
Gives it a nice zing. Who needs salt and pepper?
Miracle Whip will make it even fancier.
Right.
So you're just traveling. You're not actually producing Thanksgiving foods.
No. I'm merely a vessel to get my children to Oklahoma, and the food should hopefully be prepared from there.
Good deal.
I have one request, and that was my grandma's potato salad that my sister knows how to make, and she said, "Oh, it will be done."
Oh, nice. So, good deal.
Yes, sir.
Is that a tradition at Thanksgiving, the potato salad?
It is. It's a tradition in our family, just because it was something my grandma used to make all the time, and kind of passed it down a lot, or passed it down to our family. So
cool. Yeah. I like it. Because to me, I always think of potato salad as more of a summer thing.
Sure.
But hey, all food is good. I will never kick nothing out. But I always think of that more of a summery thing because it's cold. Usually. Yeah. So.
No, it's my grandma makes a very specific type of potato salad, or she always did. It's mayonnaise based. It's very celery forward, like very celery forward. And it's one of my favorite things in the world to eat. My sister is the only one in our family who learned how to make it, or was, I guess, taught how to make it.
She was bequeathed the recipe to do that. Yeah.
So she's the holder of grandma's potato salad. So it's any big family get together, I always put it in as a special request.
Nice.
So.
I like it. Does she just know that you're going to request it at this point
she's
automatically?
Like, I said, she always request. I'm like, grandma's potato. She's like, I knew that was coming.
Besides grandma's potato salad.
Right. That's pretty much it.
$1 million, please.
Yeah. Hope Diamond. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me.
The Hope Diamond?
The Hope Diamond.
Yeah.
Because it was a running joke on a show I used to watch when I was a kid, which I introduced my kids to over the weekend. Because I decided to pull up the Thanksgiving special of Garfield and Friends.
Okay.
Remember Garfield and Friends from the 90s? It was, again, way after your time, I know.
Vaguely.
So
I know who Garfield is.
Right. But this is a show I watched religiously when I was a kid. Okay?
All right.
Religiously. Now, I tell you all that to tell you this. I turn on this episode of the show, and this is the theme song I hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, Garfield and Friends. Friends are there
to help you get started, to give you a push on your way.
Okay, that being said, that's not the theme song I grew up with.
Really?
I watched this show religiously
They updated
as
it?
a kid. No, I guess the one I saw when I was a kid was the new version. Because this is the version I grew up with. It was this. And when I heard it come on, it bugged me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Garfield and Friends. We're ready to party.
We're ready to party. We're ready. So it completely threw me for a loop when I heard some alternate theme song to a show that I've watched like my whole childhood. It completely like screwed things up for me yesterday. I was like, what is going on?
Maybe it's a Mandela effect.
What other lies have I been being told my whole life?
It's the Mandela effect.
I feel like the society's just lying to you at every twist and turn.
I guess I didn't watch either version. So.
Oh yeah, you were like in your 20s at the time, so it wouldn't have made a lot of sense.
I don't know. It's pretty.
It's true. You do watch a lot of Beavis and Butthead now, so.
Yeah, that's a different kind of show. It's for different audiences. But did I ever tell you my Hope Diamond story? I thought I did.
Maybe you did.
Maybe I have. Well, real quick. So
me and three other guys were on a heist one time.
No, so the Hope Diamond is located in the Smithsonian Natural History Museum in D.C. And one time, this is back early in my marriage. I think it was one of the first trips we made to D.C. And it was my wife and I, and my parents were divorced at the time, so we'd spend some time with her and, play that game. And so somehow, and I don't even remember all the details, my mother, myself, and I did a D.C. trip. And we went and saw the sights in D.C. And we were in the Natural History Museum. And, Kim, everybody was like, let's go see the Hope Diamond. So we go to the part of the museum where the Hope Diamond is located. And at the time, I don't know this was years ago. You walked in this room and they had a big pedestal in the middle of the room, and then encased in the glass was the diamond, the Hope Diamond. So it was kind of sitting in the middle of the room. Mm-hmm. Well, my wife and I and Kim were all sitting around the diamond looking at it and everything, where a group of tourists came in. A group of tourists from one particular section of the world, Asia, came in, and they came in. It came in strong, a bunch of them, and they literally came in and just pushed my wife, my mother, myself, just kind of shoved us out because they were groping to get to, and then getting in and getting out of the room. It was literally like a mob, just people. And I've never seen my mother get so mad at there was. And here's the funny part: my wife's 5 foot, 4'11". My mother's the same height, and there's a room full of guys and gals from Asia, right? So and me, and I feel like Wilt Chamberlain in this room. Yeah,
surveying the whole room.
Yeah. I'm kind of looking, but I see there's this Asian guy that kind of shows my mom, and the guy's moving on, and I see her face behind him, and she has a look of she's about to murder someone, like Braveheart, where they're just killing everybody. They got the face. There's her face, and she's showing her fist to this guy.
Just rage face.
It was like, God! I will never forget it. It was so funny.
Destroyed relationships that day. Still to this day, my mom can't hang out with Asian people. It's the darndest thing. At least not without pushing them off the balcony first.
Right. But I've never seen my mom get in a public setting, she was about to go full Karen.
Hi, what's your name? Quan?
This is before Karen was even thought of. But yeah, all over the Hope Diamond. Those people were rude, and to my mom's, they just come in like they own the place and just threw us out of the way. And
that's when you got to get a little linebacker. I mean, throw a little shoulder into it.
Well, I was the biggest guy in the room.
I know. Stand up for your ladies, dang it!
Don't want to get arrested.
You gonna let Tran and his group do that to your women? I don't think so. Mr. Chang, come back here, please. We need to talk.
Well, fortunately, no incident occurred. We all moved along, but my mom's face, to this day, I will never forget that face.
I just really wanted to see the diamond.
Yeah. Khan! That's all I can think of was Wrath of Khan with the fist.
Fire.
Oh, man. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We're going to replay a few interviews. We do have a guest in the 8 o'clock hour, but this hour we're going to replay our interview. We had Lori Schatz and Ron Lethko join us with the Kiwanis Club, talking about their event coming up December 3rd at the Anderson Museum. We're going to play that for you here. It's a fundraising event for the all-inclusive park that the Kiwanis Club they've been working on the last couple years here. In the 8 o'clock hour at 8:15, Elliot Rodriguez with Loan Depot going to drop by, give us a visit. He comes by once a month to talk home ownership advice and, how to do it right.
Yeah.
And how he can help you.
Sage advice.
There you go.
And advice on sage.
Yeah, which would be very appropriate during the Thanksgiving holiday. And then we're going to replay an interview in the 9 o'clock hour. John from Oasis Computers joined us last week for his monthly visit, talking technology and Black Friday and all that good stuff. So good words of advice if you're going to hit the streets for electronics on Friday. He's always got good information for you there. So we're going to play that, replay that interview for you here about 9:15.
Nice.
Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news of the local and national variety, along with your Wall Street and Town Hall business updates. We are done broadcasting football here on Roswell Station. We do have one more football game for you as the Coyotes fell to Piedra Vista over the weekend. Artesia defeated Deming in Deming on Saturday, which means we will have that matchup for you on our Artesia station. The Artesia Bulldogs travel to Piedra Vista to take on the Panthers for the championship there. The game will take place 1:30 Saturday in Piedra Vista. We will have that game for you on 990 AM KSVP and 93.7 FM KSVP radio only. We will have audio only online too, no video. It is a state championship game. It's in Piedra Vista. We do not own the rights for that one, but we will have it for you on the radio at about 1:30. Pregame will start about 1 with kickoff at 1:30 this Saturday. All right, it is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Generally fair for the next couple of days, although we may have a little bit of cloud cover early today, but sunny this afternoon as high pressure moves in from the Intermountain states. It'll be a little on the cool side, our high in the mid-50s. Down to the mid and upper 20s and clear for the overnight hours. We're back up to about 60 with sunshine on Tuesday. It'll be sunny on Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 28 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 92%. Winds are calm at the moment. We are in the midst of a freezing fog advisory until 10 a.m. this morning. That's because we got some. There's fog's pretty thick out there this morning, so if you are going out and about, be careful. Don't use your high beams. You know the rules. But fortunately, a little less traffic out there this morning. Kids aren't going to school and less people traveling to work this morning, so hopefully that helps. But yeah, we got the freezing fog advisory through 10 a.m. this morning. Patchy freezing fog till about 10 o'clock this morning. Then becoming sunny. Highs expected to reach the mid-50s today, 56 for a high. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies for tonight with an overnight low of 26 degrees. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Your Tuesday, dare I say, pleasant. Mostly sunny, highs near 60 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night with an overnight low of 30. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, the busiest travel day of the year. Mostly sunny, high of 64. Winds out of the northwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Thanksgiving Day, expect sunny skies and a high of 58. For Black Friday, sunny skies and a high of 62. And then for the weekend, sunny 67 on Saturday, sunny 68 on Sunday. So overall, pretty nice week for, the end of November and rolling into the Christmas season here. So not too shabby. All right, it is way better than last week, that's for sure. All right, 7:24. We're going to take a 3.5-minute commercial break. Your Roswell Livestock Report with Smiley Wooten up next, and then we'll play our interview with the folks from the Kiwanis Club of Roswell on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A nice Thanksgiving run for today. We expect to sell 2,000 head, breaking down like this: 225, 275 weighing cows and bulls, 100, 125 pairs bred cows, 1,600, 1,650 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 17 bred cows from the Guadalupe Ranch, Otero County, ex-quality black white-face Angus cross cows bred to Angus bulls, 4 to 7 years old, 28 yearlings, Perez Ranch, Vaughn, New Mexico, ex-quality black white-face Angus cross yearlings, 700, 850 pounds, 113 calves, Mr. Peter Leckman, Seminole, Texas, ex-quality 90% black Angus cross calves, Bow Shield 6, Vision 7 at Brandon, 275, 375 pounds, 81 calves, Mr. David Gable at Roe Mesa, New Mexico, ex-quality black white-face Angus and Charolais cross calves, shots at Brandon, 500, 650 pounds, 64 calves, A&K Land and Cattle Company down south of Hope, New Mexico, ex-quality 80% black white-face Angus cross calves, shots at Brandon, 450, 600 pounds, 137 calves, Collier Enterprises, Verhalen, Texas, ex-quality black white-face Brangus cross calves, shots at Brandon, 500, 600 pounds, 66 calves, Mr. Don Walker, Tucumcari, New Mexico, ex-quality black white-face calves, cattle weaned 25 days, 2 rounds of shots out of registered cows and registered Angus bulls, 450, 600 pounds. 85 calves, light yearlings, Monte Oni, Socorro, New Mexico. X-quality black, whiteface, red, whiteface, English crossbred, shots at Brandon, 400, 650 pounds. 64 yearlings, Chillicote Ranch, Valentine, Texas. X-quality 80% or 90% black Angus cross calves, shots at Brandon, medium condition, 400, 550 pounds. 69 calves, Anderson Ranch, Pyote, Texas. Good quality black Angus and Brangus crosses, thin to medium condition, 300, 400 pounds. 25 heifers, Lazy Rafter B, right here at Roswell. Excellent quality black, whiteface Angus cross calves, weaned 125 days, 3 rounds of shots, 500, 650 pounds. 70 calves, Thunderhead Ranch here west of Roswell. Excellent quality black Angus cross calves, Bovishield Gold 7-way at Brandon, 450, 500 to 550 pounds. 55 Corriente steers, Mr. Bodie Means, Valentine, Texas. Good native Corriente steers, used but light in, will still have some play in them. Don't miss them. Sale time this morning 9 o'clock. Sale pairs of bred cows 10:30. Be on calves and yearlings about 11. We expect to sell 2,000 head here today. Happy Thanksgiving. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Hi, this is Mikey, General Manager at Roswell Nissan. During this Thanksgiving season, Roswell Nissan would like to thank all of our valued customers and thank you for putting your trust and confidence in Roswell Nissan. Roswell Nissan will be closed this Thanksgiving to spend time with our families and back to regular business and burning off all that turkey and gravy on Friday. We know you have a choice when buying and servicing your vehicles. Thank you for choosing Roswell Nissan. We won't settle for less than what's best for you. Happy Thanksgiving from all of us at Roswell Nissan.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in studio this morning from Kiwanis Club of Roswell, we have Ron Lithgow and Lori Schatz back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Mike.
How's everybody in unison and everything?
Wow.
Oh, pretty good here. How's life treating you guys? You all ready for Thanksgiving?
We
already done did it, right?
Yeah, for our Kiwanis
For
Club.
Kiwanis Club.
Yeah, we had a Thanksgiving potluck last week, and so anyway.
You guys are all about food. You guys don't meet unless there's food around anyway.
We needed a restaurant.
Every meeting's Thanksgiving with you guys.
We had our Circle K, some of our Circle K kids, which is the college group that got a chance to come out
Kind of
and
your
celebrate
young
with
Kiwanians.
us.
Right, yeah. Future
Very good.
Kiwanians, we hope.
Which, by the way, always looking for fresh meat to be a part of the. Speaking of food,
We had approximately 20 members there, and I think we're at 25 total now.
Good
So
deal.
that's pretty good.
And it's a great program because the youth, the young Kiwanians, they're kind of earning college scholarship money and things like that while serving the community in various ways through Kiwanian projects.
Right.
And things like
so
that.
we have the CKI out at the university, and then we have a Key Club at Roswell High, and which is our high school group, and so they provide service to the community as well. And our CKI group is very active out at the university, and they show up at our meetings, and they were at our potluck. What was it? Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday.
It was Tuesday, not last week.
Because I'm still
just
eating
Tuesday,
stuffing and mashed potatoes. No one wanted to take the leftovers.
She's not going to want any kind of Thanksgiving for actual Thanksgiving.
I know. I thought of that. I have all my stuff ready for Thanksgiving, and someone said, "Oh, what are you going to do?" And I said, I might wait a while
She's
on
like,
that. Since
let's have a brisket.
Yeah, because every lunch and every dinner since Tuesday has been stuffing
but
and
it's
mashed
great
potatoes
to see
and
that
turkey.
there's this many youth that are getting involved, and let's face it, the future Kiwanians, I'm hoping here, because especially when you have events like what we're about to talk about here, and their setup of chairs and tables and logistics. And let's face it, some of our Kiwanians are like, I've been doing this for years. That's that's backbreaking work. I'm a little tired. And then we got our Circle K kids, the young, strong backs that are learning their way into the world, and while we got them, we'll take advantage of their youth and energy and have them help out here a little bit.
Well, and it's nice to get them involved in service clubs and service projects.
Well, they see a bigger picture,
and they understand it's just not all about me.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
It's about
and
other
in the world
people.
we live in today, the more we can show youth there's a bigger picture than what's in front of their nose,
right?
The better we're doing.
Yeah,
and you know,
sure.
It's just the world we live in now. So it's great, but. For folks that aren't familiar, the Kiwanians here in town have adopted as their pet project for the last several years here, the all-inclusive park, which they've working with the city. The plans we're still, I think everything's kind of laid out. What we're still in a little bit of the fundraising side and dotting I's and crossing the T's and getting all that, but it's all going. But we are still raising funds for that. Hence, what we're about to invite you to come out to help raise some more funds for the all-inclusive park. If you're not familiar with what an all-inclusive park is, it's a playground for kids, for all kids. It doesn't matter. And that's the thing. If a child's on the spectrum or if the child has any kind of limited abilities, this park can accommodate them. This is a park that if a child with zero limitations, just a kid being a kid, wants to enjoy it, they can. But if there is a child that's on the spectrum or a child that has sensitivity issues to certain things at playgrounds and all that, this playground is friendly towards that. So it doesn't matter. It's an all-inclusive park. Bring your kids. It doesn't matter what their background is. They can come and have fun on this playground. And so hopefully this is the first of many. But you got to make the first one before you make the second one.
Southeast New Mexico.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that, to be the first to do that.
Yeah.
Because we feel it's going to pull in, which I'm sure Roswell will be happy about. Ron has said that there are people that have called from all over Southeast New Mexico. When is a park going to be built? They want to come here
and
specifically to enjoy it, which means there's dollars in the system for Roswell when they come
doesn't
here.
necessarily mean they're going to spend the night, but certainly while they're here, they're going to buy some food.
Well,
and go to a restaurant.
They're going to be contributing to our gross receipts for that.
Exactly.
For sure.
Absolutely.
There you go.
But I think this is going to be one of those things that 20 years from now, these are going to be the parks. Like you take your kid to a park, this is what you're going to be taking your child to. So
Well, kind of feels we've been raising funds for about the last 20 years, right, Ron?
Yeah, it's almost beginning to feel like it.
Well,
and we're hopeful that this is our last one for the park.
It's our big push.
Let's be honest. There's been a lot of roadblocks that have popped up with, COVID, just the first one. But I mean, and in a world where you're trying to construct something, in a world where supply and demand is impossible. And
it's not just the city; it's also the state.
Sure.
The governor gave us some seed money, so the state's involved, the city's involved.
Yeah, it's a big
We're involved.
project.
The Autism Society is involved. So sometimes that makes it a little more difficult instead of a little bit.
When you
quicker.
you put the checklist through a lot of different levels. When it goes up the ladder, it takes equally long to come back down the ladder too. So, but that's logistics and stuff. We don't want to bore you with that. All we want you to do is come and have a beautiful night of entertainment and music, and by doing that, supporting this all-inclusive park. Mark December 3rd on your calendars, and plan a night at the Anderson Museum. We're going to have a tribute to Carole King with Deb DeLuca. She's going to be accompanied she's on piano.
She's on piano.
She's singing and playing. She doesn't have a pianist playing with her.
No.
She's doing her thing. And it's all the the hits and things, the songs of Carole King. And Debbie? Did she involve with writing, or she's just performing?
I believe she's just performing.
I didn't know she had a history with some of these songs or some of that stuff. Or
she knows probably the history.
Gotcha.
Like we had talked before. A lot of the tribute concerts, they will tell you different things, or they'll tell you how. When someone was talking, they'll tell you stories about their journey with the song.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of cool, too.
So it's kind of like, how it relates to her, which I imagine when you hear those kind of stories, you're like, yeah, that's how I see it. Or I feel. Because, for every person that has different ideas on things, there's a lot of us that think the same thing at the same time, too. And that's the beauty of music. You can get 12 people hear a song and get 12 different reactions to it.
Yeah,
and that's...
It's been kind of humorous when we've been out in the community talking about this. A lot of the young people, you'll say, "Oh, this is a tribute concert to Carole King."
Yeah,
and they'll say, "Who's Carole King?"
Right.
They get this blank look.
You hit probably 40 below, and there's a lot of people like Carole King who is.
But the minute you say you got a friend by James Taylor, they're like, "Oh, we know that
That's
song."
Just it.
She wrote it.
You know all of the things that begat from her if you don't know her directly. So that's.
And I tell them, well, if you listen to her music, you'll recognize some of the songs.
Yeah.
So And
Tapestry was her big album that I think everyone that's 40 and over remembers.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Yeah, but it's because it kind of crosses into that folk a little bit, and those genres of music aren't as popular as some of the others now. So they're kind of it's all reciprocal, I think, because I remember like when I was a little kid, folk not being as popular, but then it's like ebbs and flows. Like there'll be a few years.
And
it's
what
like
is
fashion.
James Taylor? Like, is he rock? Is he soft rock?
Well,
is
yeah,
he
you
folk?
can't put a label on that. It depends
You know?
on which. Like, you can take every one of his songs and put it in a different category.
Right.
You know?
Right. And
Like, this is
she
folk,
wrote
this is
a
more
lot
rock.
for him. They worked together and collaborated a lot.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, well, I don't really know.
But it's all that
good music.
Americana, indie, folk. All like I kind of all lump it to when you kind of like James Taylor's one of those you lump into all of that. Where you know it's just you know you hear it, you know it, and it's you know that reminds you of home or reminds you of memories past.
Brings back a lot of memories. A lot of the music, that we
exactly.
listened to back then.
We all relate. I mean, and just guess what, kids? Y'all are going to do the same thing when you're all our age.
Right.
It'll be your songs, and you're going to hear it on the radio on the oldie station.
What?
Yeah.
We don't know who that is.
And you're going to go, oh, I met my first boyfriend or girlfriend to this song
Right,
or whatever
exactly.
it is, you know?
So it's a great way to start kicking off, your holiday.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that weekend, but this is it's a little different than anything we've done. It's a little bit more high-toned
I will say
than
we
what
have a
we've
lot
done
of
in the
sports
past.
offerings that weekend. I know
Yes.
there's the bowl games and everything happening that weekend. So if you want something that's not involved sports and cold and outdoors, just saying.
Date night.
It's going to be
Date
freezing.
night. Yeah.
Come for a lovely evening at the Anderson Museum. And if you've never been to the Anderson, get there early and spend a good hour walking around the Anderson Museum and seeing the sights and seeing all the beautiful artwork. It's so eclectic. That's what I love about that
And that's
museum.
what's wonderful about the space,
Yeah.
right? It's not just that she's going to be on this grand piano that they have. She's going to be playing and singing, but we're in the room with artwork. When you go out, it's heavy hors d'oeuvres, so we can go get your shrimp and your salmon and your different things. There's
Mingle,
another
chat.
room that has different artwork. Go get yourself a glass of champagne. That's in a third room of artwork. So there's plenty to do. A lot of times at intermission in shows, you kind of get up to stretch your legs, right? And you go to the bathroom, and then you stand around in the lobby. Like,
You're like,
okay.
"All right,
But there's
what time-"
there's plenty of stuff for you to look at and participate in at the Anderson.
Absolutely.
So it's a kind of a partnership with them as well to be like, hey, look, this great jewel you have in Roswell, and now we're using it in kind of a slightly different way to promote our function along
and
with
they have
theirs.
that beautiful piano over there,
Oh,
which
yeah.
allows a lot of these shows.
And
you
it's
know,
an extra
to
large
come.
grand, which I
Yeah.
didn't know until I went over there the other day. I knew it was a grand, but I wasn't sure.
I know it's probably more valuable than
It's
some of
a
our
concert
houses.
grand.
Right, yes. From what we understand, it's an amazing instrument.
Yeah,
Right.
and so I know just from past, and I think you can attest to this. Artists actually, that's a draw for an artist to come there because
Right.
they're like, "Whoa, I get that piano. Okay, yeah, that'll work."
And although, she will be mic'd and the piano will be mic'd, but it will not be. It's going to be a completely different feel than when you go to a theater.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be an intimate setting. There's tables all around her. She's going to be able to see you and talk to you. It's not like lights in her eyes where she's just doing her shtick.
Yeah.
It's going to be very intimate.
You
so.
know, and this is again, I'm giving a dated reference, but if you remember MTV Unplugged back in the '90s, there where they used to have the artist on and they'd sit there and it was them with acoustic guitar or something, but they would do some of their songs in that acoustic version, and then they talk about stories and things, and kind of it's almost like sitting down with Uncle Pop or and just having and this is going to be closer to that where
Right.
it's not formal. We're sitting there, the piano accompaniment, you're sitting feet away. Hanging, it's almost like hanging out in a really nice giant living room with someone and just being a part of a fly on the wall conversation and hearing what's going on. And then, oh, by the way, beautiful music in between the conversations and things like that. So, and then of course, if heavy hors d'oeuvres, so come a little hungry and get that, and then. You
could make it, according to Adam, we're using peppers. You could make it
Always
your
good
dinner.
for-
He says that it could be that
Well,
if you would
if
like.
it's-
You get a glass of champagne and you get the hors d'oeuvres. There is a cash bar. And you can help out either way. You can buy a single seat, which is $150.
Okay.
And if you are part of a company, it is $1,200 for a table.
Okay.
Or
We have a few tables left.
2 tables that are $900.
Okay.
That just hold 6.
Okay, so if you got a smaller group and one
right.
table, that'd be perfect.
And you can do it if you do. That's considered just sponsorship. There will be your logo at every table, so you can take it off your marketing and sponsorship.
Yeah.
Take it off of that part of your budget. And so when we do have people that have purchased tables that are like, you fill it with worthy people. So, and that's another way.
I love when people pay it forward like that. They're like, yeah, give me a table. And then people that would love to do this, but they can't afford it or just wouldn't do it normally for themselves. And they say, enjoy this evening on us.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Well, I will tell you.
Share it.
Yeah.
Share
I love
the
when they
evening.
do that kind of stuff.
I said this to Gene down in Artesia. So this is not advertised. So you have to be listening to this to
exclusive deal.
Exclusive deal.
Inside club here.
So if you would like to come see the show, not get the hors d'oeuvres, not get the champagne, but just show only.
Just a concert ticket.
Just a concert ticket. You can call 575-513-8119, and they're $45.
Okay.
So that's the only time I'm going to say that this broadcast.
Before you pull the trigger on that one, let me throw this out there real quick. Since Peppers is running this thing, I know through my historical society, I work a lot with them.
Right.
And we get the meals, like a quarter almost. And they're great events, and Adam and his staff do an amazing job with the meals. But if he's doing shrimp.
Yeah, he is.
He does the shrimp appetizers with almost everyone. Now, I think he's missed one or two, but almost every one of our meals have had the shrimp appetizers. Those shrimp, I don't think I want to meet them alive. They're huge. They're big.
So go for the gusto, right? Do the 150 ticket.
There's nothing shrimp about these shrimp. They're big. And you're just like, we're in New Mexico. Where are these giant shrimp coming from? But they're delicious and they're huge. And so before you go off and not get the shrimp in the hors d'oeuvres and all that, maybe it might be worth your while to go. But if you're allergic to shellfish or don't want any of that, then please, and you want to support, please get that
and
ticket.
we wanted to make it that everyone could attend.
Yeah, right. I get that.
But if you can, we would prefer that you purchase a table would be the first thing, and then
Absolutely.
if you can't and you just want to have a great date night, come out for the $150 per person. Yeah. And then if you got that phone number, you have the ability to give me a call. And if I have tickets available, there's only a very slim amount.
Yes.
I've already sold 15 of them.
Okay.
So there's
not a whole lot of those left.
Right.
And I wouldn't wait till December 3rd if you want a table either, because you've already got about half the tables gone.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
And I know enough to know about this community. We all wait till the last minute. We all do, especially for shows and concerts and things like this. If you wait till last minute and hoping to get a table, you may be left out in the cold. I hate for that to happen. So maybe
and the
today
next time
or
we're on,
early next
we will
week.
mention all of the people that have purchased tables, so they'll get a little shout out.
We'd love to do that.
A little extra marketing push for them.
Yeah. So we'll announce that at the concert and honor those that have purchased the table and say thank you very much for doing that and in support of the park.
Absolutely, because let's face it, without
fundraising.
you guys coming out and supporting, I mean, this top-notch entertainment, beautiful facility. This is how we get this park built. If these aren't successful, then we got to keep raising money, and it's going to push it back farther and farther, and we've got enough government bureaucracy to push that back. We don't need to help that. We don't need to help that along.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So come on out, make it like you said, make it a date night, or if you're a business or an organization and you want to honor some of your hard workers.
That's what you're going to do for Christmas, right? Is maybe take 8 of your top workers and bring them out and let them enjoy
Treat them to a
it.
lovely night of music and delightful hors d'oeuvres and real quick, because I know we're a town where we dress in jeans and things. What's dress? Is this more upscale or can you come
more
casual?
Upscale.
Okay.
I mean, I think you could come
business
somewhat.
casual.
Yeah, business casual would be
business
good.
formal.
We're not
if you
a
want to wear
dress-up community, so I want to kind of if you're wanting to expect people to get a little. Because
when I attended the Anderson last time, where they had an event similar to this, I didn't help put it together, but there was everything from
formal
dress
dresses
to the nines to
T-shirt
someone who
jeans.
had a tux on, but the T-shirt was.
Oh, the tux T-shirt?
The tux T-shirt with black pants and dress shoes.
We all know that person. we all have that person.
So probably not shorts or skirts or anything.
Well,
but,
years ago, they had the skinny tie with the piano keys on it. Same person.
I knew a lot
Not naming names.
And maybe before that, the Mork suspenders, the rainbow Mork suspenders from Mork and Mindy.
You're really going back.
Wow. I'm just going generational here.
Don't wear that.
Although it may come around again, and now it'll be popular.
You don't look that old, Mike.
But again, it's December the 3rd, 7 p.m. at the Anderson Museum. It is a night of tribute music to Carole King with Deb DeLuca. Get your tickets now. You can go. What's probably the best way to order tickets? Is it to call you direct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is to call Lori direct here, 575-513-8119. Again, that's 575-513-8119. Like and follow the Kiwanis Club on Facebook. You'll also find all the information I'm just telling you right there. So if you got lost in the Mork and Mindy suspenders and all that and missed the details.
Still mulling that over.
You could find it there. And, of course, if you have any questions or anything, like if you got special requests or needs or whatever, you can shoot a message to there, and Lori or one of the Kiwanians can handle that for you.
But, it's going to be a great venue, great food, and great entertainment. So you got all three there.
I said this to Lori last time, but what I love about that Anderson Museum is I don't care how much or how little you're into art, or if you're into a certain type of art or another type of art. They've got everything. They've got the crazy to the more traditional, the stuff that looks like art to something you're like, I wouldn't even put that. You realize that's a category of art. I mean, they got everything. They got everything from upcycled things to more, something you want to put behind a glass and say, don't touch or look at, you know what I mean? They've got it all. But then they got something that's made beautiful out of like garden hoses or something. They got everything in that museum.
It's just a unique space to Roswell.
It's
literally we're very fortunate to have it.
Absolutely. It's an eclectic mix. And this is something too, while we're talking real quick, just Roswell is such a unique community with that kind of, for a town this size, for us to have as many museums and cultural opportunities, the zoo, the airport. I mean, even not just the entertainment side, the logistical side. Towns of this size don't get to enjoy this kind of thing. Your community little theater might be your top form of entertainment in town. We have a great one of those too. Yes. But like I'm saying, we have so many options. We have not one, but two beautiful art museums in a town. If they had one in a town this size, that would be a big deal.
Well, and I would put a plug in for way off Broadway.
Absolutely.
I mean, my grandkids have participated in.
Yeah. They go when they do their
plums
out to college. Don't miss them. I know they just had one, and hopefully they'll have another one maybe for the holidays here or something. But we love, we're so fortunate that way. And so, please, if you never set foot in the Anderson Museum and you live here and been here, how have you not? Come, make December 3rd your first time. Come, enjoy the music, and spend time in that museum. It is a real treasure, and help us make a new treasure with this all-inclusive park.
Yeah.
So.
And then the next time the Kiwanis meet is December 6th. We meet the first and the third Tuesday of every month.
So it'll be after the event.
Because we have to have lunch, as Mike started with. We'll take a full circle. We got to eat. We're Kiwanians.
I wasn't wrong.
That's right.
Well, that's a good way to get Kiwanians.
And the first time you come, your lunch is on us.
Nice.
So if you want to check out what we do and possibly participate, we're always looking for extra hands to help us out.
So that's December 6th.
December 6th.
Cerritos.
And
at
in
noon.
that room. Absolutely. Yeah, come out and love to have you. And, of course, the Kiwanians focus on children. That's their big... So, when they're done with this park, they'll work on their next thing. But like you said, with their, with the Circle K kids and all of that, and having the clubs in the schools, that's all through the outreach and through all. So so if you want to be a Kiwanian and you're looking for something to get involved with children, Kiwanians are a good fit for you, because that's kind of their main focus is the kids and things like that. So. Good deal. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to share? Anything we wanted to cover
Well, we're going to do another golf ball drop probably in the spring, so we'll be back to talk about that.
Those are fun.
And then we'll talk to you afterwards. I think we want to come back one more time before our concert, just so we can do one final push.
Yeah, one last minute reminder. Hey, still a couple seats left.
That's right.
Actually, what I'm hoping is we're sold out.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? And then all we have is a list of all of our sponsors.
Yeah.
And then you could say, well, here's what you would have missed.
Yeah, you would have gotten.
Here's what you could have seen.
Concert.
Absolutely. Well, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Same to you.
For you, like your third or fourth one now. And things like
yeah, I might have sushi on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I'm not
like,
sure. The complete opposite.
And we want to thank you, Mike, for your support and what you do for the community of Roswell and with this program and allowing people to come in and promote their events. You're an amazing guy. We appreciate it so much.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. We like to have fun and goof around and get people to listen to that and then to learn stuff. And that's kind of... So I'm an idiot for good.
I say we're a bunch of do-gooders, is what I say. Do-gooder group, I'm in.
I'm a doof-gooder.
I like that.
Yep. Very good. Well, thank you, guys. We'll see you here next time.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Talk to you later.
Thanks, Mike.
Talk to you later.
All right. It is 9:44.
Now for your Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Sorello. A southeastern New Mexico woman could go to prison for 4 years. Carmen Gallegos was found guilty last week of conspiracy to smuggle guns into Mexico. Court documents show Gallegos, who also used the name Carmen Salazar Andujo, took part in the plan to buy 23 guns over a 2-month period and illegally smuggle them from the U.S. into Mexico. Gallegos was arrested at the Isleta port of entry on October 31st last year. She admitted during the arrest that she accepted $538 to smuggle the guns. The Artesia Bulldogs are now moving on to Farmington as the top team in the 5A playoffs after defeating Deming 49-12 in the Saturday semis. Deming could not overcome 4 turnovers in the first half alone, while Artesia seized on the opportunity to score. The Bulldogs never trailed in the game. They now travel to Farmington November 26th to face the Piedra Vista Panthers in the championship game. The Panthers defeated Roswell Saturday 13-7. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Last Thursday and Friday, the Drudge Report ran as a top story an opinion piece written by a CNN reporter showing an upside-down Twitter bird logo, supposedly dead, and the headline on its last tweet, then followed by a question mark. The Reliable Sources column is at CNN, so it's no surprise just how unreliable it is. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by SimpliSafe. Save big on a customizable home security system. Get 50% off today at simplysafekim.com. Reliable Sources was a CNN show formerly hosted by the leftist Brian Setzler, and now it's a column. CNN states that with the Twitter engineers who are fired and those who quit because their conscience won't allow them to work for Elon Musk, there will soon be no one left to run Twitter. Right. Here's what was left out. Many of those former Twitterites are running over to TikTok for a job, to go to work for the Chinese communists. Obviously, there's no problem with the conscience there. Try my new Daily Tech podcast full of news, tips, and advice called Kim Commando Today. Dell Technologies' Black Friday event has arrived with select deals on top tech to power business productivity. The savings start now with up to 50% off select performance business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget about special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, including free shipping on everything. Call a Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL for Black Friday deals. That's 877-ASK-DELL, 877-ASK-DELL.
At T-Mobile, we believe people deserve more without paying more. That's why the new iPhone 14 with its amazing camera is on us, and Apple TV Plus is included.
It's like expecting one caroler. Deck the hall with and getting a choir.
Switch and get iPhone 14 on us with eligible trade-in on our Max plan.
With 24 monthly bill credits plus tax for well-qualified customers. Contact us before canceling service to continue remaining bill credits or credits stop and balance and required finance agreement is due. Apple TV Plus on us up to $4.99 value. See T-Mobile.com for details.
Meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Generally fair for the next couple of days, although we may have a little bit of cloud cover early today, but sunny this afternoon as high pressure moves in from the Intermountain states. It'll be a little on the cool side, our high in the mid-50s. Down to the mid and upper 20s and clear for the overnight hours. We're back up to about 60 with sunshine on Tuesday. It'll be sunny on Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Roswell and Piedra Vista in football have a history going into this past weekend's game in the state semifinals, and it always seemed to be in Roswell's favor from a state championship win back in 2001, I believe, and all the way to a game this past season when Roswell beat Piedra Vista when the Panthers were ranked number 1. That was a 32-14 victory at the end of September. But on Saturday, it was Piedra Vista's turn. With 4 interceptions, the Panthers earned a 13-7 victory over Roswell. That last interception reception by Jacob Schrader included a long return after the pick, and then Jacob Ramstead had a 5-yard touchdown run in the third quarter for Piedra Vista to break a 7-7 tie. So that's the end of the season for the Coyotes, one step short of a state championship opportunity. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Sales of previously occupied U.S. homes fell in October for the 9th consecutive month to the slowest pre-pandemic sales pace in more than 10 years, as home buyers grappled with sharply higher mortgage rates and fewer properties on the market. Ford is recalling more than 550,000 F-150 vehicles in the United States and Canada because the front windshield wiper motor may stop functioning. The automobile maker said that the inoperative windshield wipers on the 2021 to 2022 models can reduce visibility in certain conditions. Laid-off tech workers could find new jobs at Jaguar Land Rover as the 100-year-old British automaker looks to hire hundreds of engineers to help develop electric cars. The luxury car maker said it believed workers leaving big tech groups like Amazon were most likely to have the required skills to fill new roles in Britain, Ireland, the United States, and China. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Attention, Artesia and Roswell. The Backyard Butchers are here, and they're ready to help you fill your freezers with 20 ribeye steaks for just $39. You heard that right, 20 ribeye steaks for only $39. That's less than $2 a steak. Look for the big white truck in the parking lot at Tractor Supply Co. in Artesia and Tractor Supply Co. in Roswell. Stock up, fill your freezers, and save. 20 ribeye steaks for just $39. And that's not all. Get bulk meat specials on beef, chicken, and seafood. Just look for the big white truck in the parking lot right now at Tractor Supply Co. in Artesia and Tractor Supply Co. in Roswell. Hurry before they sell out. Get 20 ribeye steaks for only $39 and lots more great bulk deals on beef, chicken, and seafood. Read reviews, chat with our seasoned butchers, and find all locations and info at backyardbutchers.com. Backyardbutchers.com. Cash, credit, debit, and EBT accepted.
If a sports injury is keeping you from the physical activities you love, the sports medicine team at Artesia General Hospital can help. Their orthopedic specialists and physical therapists work closely with you throughout diagnosis and treatment. No matter the injury, from ACL injuries, golfers and tennis elbow to foot and ankle pain, they'll get you back in the game. Appointments are available in Artesia or Carlsbad. Request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/sports.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 7:59. Town Hall News coming up here in about a minute or so. Stay tuned next hour about 8:15. We'll have Elliot Rodriguez with Loan Depot drop by. Joins us once a month. Gives us an update on kind of the financial housing market and that stuff, but mostly offers sage advice for homeowners, whether you're a first-time buyer or someone that's been buying on the regular. He's always got good advice for folks and things like that. So we'll have that conversation next hour. We will be doing live shows this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No show for Thanksgiving or for Friday. We'll be back in studio on Monday. So, but yeah, we'll be doing live shows through Wednesday this week. So just to remind you about that. But don't forget, if you want to get your tickets, call for that Home Again event at the Anderson Museum on December 3rd. Give Lori Schatz a call, 575-513-8119. Again, that's 575-513-8119. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. Several days after launching from the Kennedy Space Center, NASA's Orion spacecraft has arrived at the moon.
NASA's spacecraft is making its closest approach to the moon, sweeping just 130 kilometers above the lunar surface. It's flying above the landing sites of Apollo 11, 12 and 14 before a burn of its engines sets it on a much larger orbit. The capsule is out of contact with mission control during this manoeuvre because it's taking place around the far side of the moon. NASA will be waiting for data and images to be beamed back once a signal returns again. No astronauts are inside the spacecraft this time. Instead, mannequins covered in sensors will reveal what the experience is like. The next step is to get people on board.
The BBC's Rebecca Morell reporting. Investigators in Colorado Springs are still trying to determine a motive in the weekend mass shooting at a nightclub that left 5 people dead and many wounded. Sabrina Aston's 28-year-old son Daniel was among those killed.
It's just a nightmare that you can't wake up from. And I keep thinking it's a mistake. They've made a mistake, and that he's really alive.
The alleged shooter, a 22-year-old man, was taken into custody. At least 56 people are dead after an earthquake hit Indonesia's main island of Java. Authorities say about 700 others were injured in the quake, which damaged dozens of buildings. Former Disney CEO Bob Iger is the current CEO once again. The company rehired Iger after shares of Disney dropped 40% this year. Disney stock jumped almost 9% before the opening bell this morning on news of Iger's return. Right now, the Dow is up 32 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
Hold on. So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, start putting money back into your wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. To cash out of your Upside cash, just transfer it to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. Upside users have already earned over $200 million. Now it's your turn. Download the free Upside app and get cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code SALEM for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's code SALEM. Use code SALEM for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill-up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Potential GOP presidential candidates gathered at a conference over the weekend.
No fewer than 10 major Republican White House prospects stepped onto the ballroom stage this weekend in Las Vegas. Within many speeches, a sense of defiance rarely seen since former President Donald Trump took control of the party 6 years ago. Their central message, this is the moment for the party to move beyond Mr. Trump. However, as Trump's rivals grow more confident, many party officials say the crowded 2024 class may already be laying the groundwork to recreate Trump's success in 2016. Jason Walker reporting.
World Cup players have dropped plans to wear armbands protesting Qatar's human rights record. FIFA threatened on-field punishment for players with armbands in support of the One Love campaign. News and analysis at townhall.com. Germany's defense minister says the country has offered Eurofighters and Patriot defense systems to Poland to help defend its airspace.
Christine Lambrecht says, quote, we have to position ourselves in the alliance even better in terms of air defense. And that goes particularly for Poland, Slovakia, and the Baltic countries. Lambrecht says Germany is present with these air defense weapons in Slovakia already and wants to extend that through 2023 or even beyond. Poland's defense minister said he received Germany's offer of additional Patriot missiles, quote, with satisfaction, and will have them deployed close to the border with Ukraine. Jeremy House reporting.
More unrest overseas. Suspected Kurdish militants in Syria fired rockets across the border into Turkey today, and that action killed at least 2 people and wounded 10 others. I'm Greg Clugston. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat.
Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder.
the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Thank you, Tanner. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you're having a good one. It's Thanksgiving week. The week of downtime for many. Not so much for others. But if it is, hopefully those enjoying the week off here. If I were you, I wouldn't be listening to me. I'd be still in bed asleep, but I'm kind of lazy. But now some of you are out and about getting ready for Thanksgiving and sometimes we get busier on our downtime than we get on our not downtime, you know, and the holidays are always one of those times. I mean, like you go on vacation in the summer and you're like, oh, I got home. I needed a vacation day for my vacation. We all say that. We all kind of want it. And if you plan right, I've done that a few times where I've planned vacations and I'm like, okay, well, my plane gets in or I come back to town this date. I'm going to take an extra day to get back and do it. And I've done that a few times and it's nice. I highly recommend when you do that. But the holidays, you don't get that luxury. You can kind of as much because you're so hyped up on getting ready for the holidays, whether it's preparing for Thanksgiving meal or, you know, obviously Christmas here in a month, but you end up working harder, you know, on your downtime, trying to make the holiday perfect, which I get. We all do it and all of that. But, you know, part of me is always like, man, I love turkey. I love all of it. It's a great thing. And I'm very happy eating it. But some days you're just like, you know, we could easily just do something simple. But, you know, we break our necks to try to make it special. And so don't wear yourself out doing all that. The special part in all reality is the fact that you're together with your family and sitting down. And it doesn't matter if you're eating turkey or cheeseburgers or, you know, Spam. It doesn't matter. It's about that time. And sometimes we forget that. So remember it when you're trying to make the perfect turkey and perfect ham and perfect giblet gravy over the next several days here or traveling. Because that's, you know, it's going, you know, we get stressed out and in a world we're already stressed out. So take a deep breath. It's all for good things. It's all for good things. But, yeah, hopefully it's all great for everybody here. But, yeah, we'll be, my wife and I, we're going to go up, to Albuquerque Wednesday. My in-laws live up there. My father, mother-in-law moved up there, over about 6-8 months ago. And of course my sister-in-law and brother-in-law and nieces, they've lived up there for years. So now they're all up there. So we're all just going to gather and stay up there. And so we'll go up Wednesday, and I'll probably come back, I think, Friday for back to town here and get ready for whatever else we got going on. So yeah, we'll be heading north for the holiday there and doing the turkey and the ham and all of that good stuff. So now I've got like a list of Christmas movies I've got to check out because I still haven't checked out. Maybe I'll get some of these over the Thanksgiving break because the new Christmas Story movie just released on HBO Max over the weekend, which I have not watched yet. And then on Apple Plus, which I have, I got it. I bought my iPad a couple years ago. They gave it to me for a year for free, and then I just didn't renew it. So I paid $5 a month for Apple Plus, which I think is going up. I don't know. I think I'm going to get a new iPad in the next couple months. Maybe I'll get another free year. But anyway, I don't even know why I keep it at this point because I watch Ted Lasso, and until they put a new one of those, I don't need it. That's my. To be honest, I think I keep Apple Plus because I like Ted Lasso. I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it for when the news, but then the rest of it I don't watch. I mean, I'll watch that morning show. I've watched that, so I'll watch the new season when that comes out. But they put them all these out, and then there's really months in between before. Every once in a while they'll put a movie, and then I watch it. Like Tom Hanks put a couple movies I watched, and be honest, I wasn't that impressed with most of those. Like the one where he's with the robot as his friend, and they're driving around in the car like an apocalyptic. That one wasn't that good to me, but I watched it because it's Tom Hanks and already paid for Apple Plus. I did like the one where he's the boat captain. That was an Apple Plus exclusive where he's got to get the cargo ship, the fleet across the pond during World War II and comes under attack and all that. I can't remember the name of that movie off the top of my head. It's named after the ship which I just don't remember. But that one was all right, and so I watched that one. But there's not really much on Apple Plus that I care about. But they just put something out that I'm like, okay, now there's another thing that I'll watch, and it's I'm sure you've seen the commercials for it. It's all over TV. It's like a Christmas Carol reboot. They reboot that movie every few years and get big name actors to do it and make it, I think of Scrooged with Bill Murray is kind of one of those versions of it. Well, they've got a more modern version. And it's basically a Christmas Carol. This one stars Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell, and it looked funny. Will Ferrell plays the ghost, and I think Ryan Reynolds is your Ebenezer Scrooge type. But it's a modern version of that, it looks like. And I was like, okay, I'll watch that. So I've got two, I guess you could say, new Christmas movies for the holiday season to check out, see if they're any good. I like Will Ferrell, so I'm going to watch it. And Ryan Reynolds is fine. So I'll check it out. I'm sure it's not my cup of tea, but I'll watch it anyway. And then, Christmas Story's got a soft spot. That's a classic movie that I think all of us, there's always a few that, that movie comes on every year and I hate it and da-da-da. There's always those people. But it's a classic. You love it. I've watched it a million times, like you guys probably have watched it a million times. And, you got your favorite scenes, the fudge and all that. And so that's a nostalgic factor that makes me curious to see what they do with a reboot, 30, 40 years later? I'm just very curious to see that. And so I haven't watched it yet. I know the premise is basically Ralphie, as an adult, wants to recreate a Christmas for his own kids. And so he brings them back home to his parents' place, which in reality is Cleveland. I don't know if it's Cleveland in the movie. I got to pay attention. But I don't, it looks interesting. It's either going to be really bad or really good. I'm pretty convinced it's one or the other. So, but I'll check it out here probably over the Thanksgiving break and see that. So those I'm looking forward to. And then TV's getting good again. So, because now Yellowstone, they've been watching that regular. They got the new in December. They did 1883 last year, which is a little mini series that's like a prequel to Yellowstone that had Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, and it's the Dutton family in 1880s. Well, they're doing a new one of those. It's a 1923, I think, is the next one, and guess when it takes place? Post World War I, but and so it's the Dutton family there, and it's star-studded. The trailer for it, they started airing it heavy over the weekend. It stars Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren in this one, and it's a Paramount Plus exclusive. They'll probably do what they do on Paramount. They'll probably let you see the first 1 or 2 episodes on Paramount for free. They'll show it after Yellowstone or something here in December, and then you have to see the rest on Paramount Plus. they're doing that right now with a new series that they just premiered last night on Paramount. Of course, Yellowstone's their big, huge tentpole show on Paramount. So the new episode premiered last night, and they're trying to get more people to get to their Paramount Plus stream. So they introduced a new show, like they did this last fall too, Mayor of Kingstown with Jeremy Renner, which is a good show. They showed the first like 1 or 2 episodes of that on Paramount Plus, and then they make you watch the rest, or on Paramount Plus. They put the first 2 on the Paramount channel, and then make you watch the rest on Paramount Plus for the fee. And I already had a membership to Paramount Plus, so I watched it, and I liked Mayor of Kingstown. And in fact, they did a commercial last night for season 2, so I'm looking forward to that. But they have a new show that they've been advertising, starring Sylvester Stallone, and the name of the show just went right out of my head. But the premise of the show is he's a mafia guy that just got done doing a stretch in prison, and he did it, protecting the omerta, the code, so to speak. And so, according to movies, when one does a stint in the joint for the mob, you're supposed to get rewarded afterwards. You get bumped up, or you get a sweet assignment or whatever. You worked for the company. You're supposed to get rewarded for that. And so the TV series picks up where Stallone, I guess, is getting out of jail, and he's coming to get rewarded, and he ends up getting sent to the middle of nowhere. I can't remember. It's like Indiana or something. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. Sent somewhere, and then he's kind of running the mafia game there, and that's basically how the show picks up. And so it's kind of that action drama, kind of witty. I didn't watch the first one. I am going to watch it, but we didn't watch it last night. I'll check it out on Paramount Plus later. But I did see an advertisement on Facebook for it. And so I clicked on the comments this morning, just kind of curious to see what people were thinking that watched it. And granted, I know it's comments and people, but for the most part, it looked like I didn't see many negative comments. Everyone was kind of saying, oh, this is really good. Sylvester Stallone's good. The first episode's entertaining. It was really good. Someone said the very beginning is excellent. I'm like, okay, well, these are good reviews, so I'm interested in check it out. But yeah, it's on Paramount Plus, and like they tease you. Like they showed the first episode last night, and they'll probably do it. They'll probably show you the second one again next week, and then that's about all they'll give you. You rest if you want to see it. It's on Paramount Plus. They did the same thing with that Mayor of Kingstown, which was good too. But it's dark. It's that same Yellowstone vein. And matter of fact, I want to say that Sheridan, or whatever the guy's name that does Yellowstone, I think he did this Stallone thing too. Don't quote me on that, but I thought that's what I read somewhere. So don't quote me though. Hey, let me give you the rundown. I've been here flapping my gums and didn't even do the rundown or anything here. We'll get you up to date with the weather in just a few minutes. Elliot Rodriguez with Loan Depot will be joining us in just a few. And he pops in once a month and talks about the housing market, and always has sage advice for folks that are looking to buy or sell homes. He loves working with first timers. That's kind of his special niche. So we'll get some sage advice from Elliot here in just a few. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with local news, along with your Town Hall Wall Street business update, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and take a gander at your weather. Even though it's kind of cold, nasty now, it's a much better week in store for us than last week, for sure.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Generally fair for the next couple of days, although we may have a little bit of cloud cover early today, but sunny this afternoon as high pressure moves in from the Intermountain states. It'll be a little on the cool side, our high in the mid-50s. Down to the mid and upper 20s and clear for the overnight hours. We're back up to about 60 with sunshine on Tuesday. It'll be sunny on Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thank you. I got a text. They were telling me Tulsa. That's where that Sylvester Stallone show. He's in Tulsa, but it looks good. Looks entertaining. I think I want to check it out. And then I'm a mark for any mob shows. Like I love like Godfather movies and Goodfellas, and I even liked that De Niro and Pacino movie that they put on HBO, or not HBO, on Netflix about a year or two ago. Scorsese did it. Was it the one about Jimmy Hoffa? That was a good one too. A lot of people kind of didn't get that one. I kind of dug it, but anyway, that Tulsa, that's where that show takes place. Currently 29 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 92%. Winds are actually calm at the moment. We do have a freezing fog advisory that's going to remain in effect through 10 a.m. this morning, and it's because it's still foggy out, freezing fog, so be careful if you're going to be out and about this morning. Don't use your high beams. Do they still teach that? I know they did back when that was 101 in the fog. You never use your high beams. I hope they still teach that. I don't know. Unless, no one's told me if the rules changed, but don't use your high beams. Anyway, we got the freezing fog advisory through 10 a.m. this morning. Sunny for today. Expect highs in the mid-50s, 56 officially. Winds will be out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 26 degrees. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, even warmer tomorrow, mostly sunny, highs near 60. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 30. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. For your Thanksgiving Eve on Wednesday, mostly sunny and 64. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thanksgiving Day, sunny skies, 58 for a high. And then that night, mostly clear, overnight 29 degrees. And then for Friday, sunny and 62. And then looking at the weekend, nice as well. Sunny and 67 on Saturday, sunny and 68 on Sunday. So overall, pretty nice week weather-wise here. So shouldn't be too bad if you're going to be traveling and everything for Thanksgiving. I think the weather, at least in this area, will cooperate. If you're going parts farther, like Buffalo, maybe you want to avoid that for Thanksgiving right now. But this area looking pretty sharp. All right, it is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then Elliot Rodriguez with Loan Depot will join us on the other side. Don't go away.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you can call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
The average American takes 8,000 to 10,000 steps each day, and for those suffering from foot problems, each one can be agonizing. The podiatry team at Artesia General Hospital can help diagnose and treat foot and ankle conditions, including diabetic foot issues, arthritis, bunions, or other problems. Doctors Joseph Marino and Joseph Krupa are podiatrists specializing in wound care, fracture care, foot and ankle surgery, and more. Put your feet in good hands. Request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/podiatry APPT.
The numbers don't lie. Crime is up in southeastern New Mexico. In 2021, Roswell had almost 40 crimes per 1,000, including larceny, assault battery, burglary, motor vehicle theft, robbery, and homicide. These days, the best defense you can get is having a locally owned company install the best security system available. That's Xena Security Services. They offer real security solutions for your home and business. When it comes to your safety, you need a locally owned, locally minded security company at your defense. Call Xena Security Services today. 575-626-3521. 575-626-3521. December 17th is National Wreaths Across America Day. On this day, wreaths are placed on the graves of fallen veterans around the country. Locally, American Legion Post 61 has a goal of placing 300 wreaths on the graves of veterans in Roswell, with special attention paid to veterans at Memory Lawn Memorial Park. Please help American Legion Post 61 by sponsoring a wreath this holiday season. Cost is only $15 per wreath, but the important thing you need to know is to get your sponsorship in by November 29th. Log on to roswelllegion.org to sponsor a wreath today. Thank you for helping support our mission.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor. John runs with us. Nothing runs like a deer. Get a 3 Series tractor with 0% APR for 72 months at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2316.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia or Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Sound the alarm. Backdraft Barbecue is ready to set your taste buds on fire with the best slow smoke barbecue around, by the plate or by the pound. Plus truly one-of-a-kind creations like brisket nachos or the 5-alarm bowl, or a savory Sammy like the hook and ladder, or take on the 1098 challenge seen on Man vs. Food with over 4 pounds of everything Backdraft makes. Will you make the Wall of Fame or the Wall of Shame like Casey Webb of Man vs. Food? Open Tuesday through Saturday 11 to 8 and Sundays 11 to 5 in Roswell at 301 Railroad Avenue. Backdraft Barbecue, alarmingly delicious.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion. Unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Lone Depot, Elliot Rodriguez back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Roswell.
How are you doing today?
We're doing good. It's kind of interesting outside looking, don't be spitting, because you never know who's going to take this stop sign.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a little foggy out there this morning. Be cautious as you go out and about here. But so, are you all ready for Thanksgiving this week?
Yes. The wife actually told me the other day, like, I got everything that I need from Thanksgiving. It's like, oh, okay, cool, awesome. So that means we're not going to be at the store no more. Like, no, that doesn't mean that. You know how that goes.
No. Well, and you live in it, or you work in an industry where it isn't the shingle with the open sign on the front and 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. It's not. Obviously, when people are buying homes and things, you work around their schedules, so you probably spend a lot of time after work or on lunch breaks, meeting with clients.
Lunch?
And things.
What is that? No, let me tell you something. I'm probably one of the few, if maybe one of the only, that I'm here for my customers.
Sure.
My wife knows this. She doesn't like it too much, but she's a good cheerleader. She's on my side.
Sure.
So
she understands that's the nature of the job.
She may not love it as much, but she knows, this is what you do, and she knows how much I care about taking care of my customers anyway. So it's a big deal to me.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I got it on a Sunday afternoon. Get a text message from one of my customers, and it's like, this is not to bother you. It's basically to tell you, that we appreciate you very much because we know the things that you do in the background that a lot of people don't know. It's like, oh, that's so nice to hear.
To get
noticed and all that. So I told her, thank you very much. This is what I do. I love doing this. It's very important to me.
Sure.
And
that's why you do it.
Yeah.
When you see that and you see the people are happy that they're in the place they want. And because at the end of the day, that's all you're trying to do is make people happy and find a way for them to achieve what they're trying to do.
And it's a big thing, to me, it's almost like a God calling, if you may, okay? Because it's not about the money,
sure,
all right? Because I had to admit it, I've done the right thing,
sure,
okay? And my wife and I are not like, oh my God, we need to be able to pay this. No.
You're not living paycheck to paycheck and like, all right, let's get the thick cut of bologna, and
that makes a big difference because let's be honest, when a real estate agent or a lender, are pressuring you to do anything because they want you to do it now. And don't get me wrong, folks, you need to do it now because the more you wait,
timing is of the essence in many of these deals. Yeah,
but whatever the customer is doing, if they need to take their time, or if they chose the wrong house, like you and I were talking about a minute ago, and then they had to kill that one and go to the next one, so be it. It is okay with me. I don't mind. But we need to move forward and get things, rolling because time is of the essence. That's a very true statement when it comes, especially when it's in real estate. Folks, guys out there, people that are listening, when you're working with your lender, all right, and you're under contract and you still have conditions to meet, please get with your lender, get those conditions. Absolutely. Don't wait until the last minute. Or like you have all the time in the world to do so.
Well, that's the difference between a successful deal and one that falls through.
Oh, let me tell you something.
Is not all the requirements were met, or they jumped the gun on financing of other things, and when you buy a home, it doesn't matter. You're kind of locked in a window,
correct,
of certain. Like in that moment, if you're financing for a home, anyway, if you're buying one outright, then you do what you want. But if you're financing for a home, which 99% of us are doing that, there's a window there where you can't be making big purchases or big investments or even thinking about it to the point of you actually make a phone call. You can't, because the minute someone's running a credit check on you, you're creating alarm whistles and bells with your home mortgage process. That's just because they're everything they're doing and trying to make happen is on this certain very bits of information and details. And anytime you add or subtract information to that, you're creating chaos there. And because they're going from, wait a minute, he or she looked good. Now they just bought a car and now we've got additional $30,000 in debt on here. How do we factor that in? And I'm telling you, it's not even that big. It could be something as small as a cell phone.
Or it could be so small, guys. Let me tell you something. Yeah. Before COVID, I had a customer, okay? I still got him at home, but when we started the process, okay, he was getting a small gift from the parents to actually be able to buy a house, okay? And you know how we get all these accounts with Amazons and this and that, and you tend to forget about them.
Sure.
Okay? Those are like credit cards, all right? So you get those. If you don't pay them, it's going to affect your credit.
Sure.
Just the same. And the funniest thing is we went through the whole process, and we can go back and forth because a lot of times customers don't keep track of those things, and we don't have statements for those because they do all that online, nonsense.
Sure, yeah. It's quick and convenient.
It's quick and convenient, but it can be, an inconvenience after the fact.
Sure, for record keeping purposes.
Exactly. So he was a little confused that he had one or he had two. In the end of the day, we keep thinking he had, one because they were almost the same thing. And he keeps saying, no, I only had one. And I can say, no, it's showing two, And we clear one, and he was doing one of those government loans, the first-time home buyers for New Mexico. Folks, it's still going on. If you've been thinking about buying a house and you don't have enough money in the bank saved up, keep saving, of course.
But there's a lot of programs.
There's programs available to help you with that.
And obviously there's the special ones, veterans, teachers, law enforcement,
all
those
that kind of stuff.
things.
There's out there.
But there's
VA,
so many.
you name it.
But there's so many that none of that. It's just, hey, if you're a first time buyer, there's opportunity.
We always talk about this before. Like people tell them, oh, I can never buy a house. They're like, well, who have you been talking to? So this guy, we went through the whole process. We find out that he had the two accounts. Okay. So, it was a $10 fee. Okay.
All that turmoil.
A $10 fee. Yeah. Let me tell you something. That program is very particular. Okay. So you can't have no negative things especially after we're trying to finish. So everything went well. We fixed it. We had an exception for that. So we got the statements. We're waiting. We're getting everything clear to close. We'll find out that he didn't pay it. So that $100, that $10 ended up being $110.
Oh, man. With fees and everything.
Oh, my God. I was like, no. So we end up not having to do that house. And at the same time, I think God was watching because it wasn't the greatest house in the world. And
so it was kind of his excuse to maybe back out.
It was a good
second
thing.
Thoughts. Feet were getting a little chilly.
Sometimes got intervened in some way.
Sure. And I get that too sometimes because
it happens.
And that's when, and we were talking a little bit about this, before going on air here, and there's that fine line. You look for the house you want, but at the same time, there's not going to be the house that has exactly everything that you're looking for just sitting there waiting for you. You're going to have to. So some people, then it becomes, all right, well, what are you willing to accept?
Correct.
Are you willing to make no adjustments? Or are you willing to say, well, let's buy this house and I can upgrade it or do what I want to do to it, which is what most people do. But when you live in a world where supply and demand are what it is, sometimes you getting picky might end up hurting you more than helping you.
And we're going to touch that in a second.
Yeah.
So what happened in the end of the day is like we could have still got the same house, but we needed time now.
Sure.
Because we had to reset. And I don't think the seller was going to wait. So in the end of the day, he ended up benefiting him because he went out and find a different home. So the month after, we actually went and got him a home.
And especially if in the market we were in, there may have been 2 or 3 more offers sitting on the other side waiting.
At that time, yes. At that time,
for that house that he's trying to clear up a $10.
In my opinion, I know. In my opinion, he ended up getting a better house.
Good. Well, it lucked out.
It worked out for him in a good way.
That's not the recommended way to go about this.
No, that's not the way to go, guys. You have to...
But we're in the holiday season, and that's why you got to be. If you're in the market for buying houses right now, and of course you're doing your Christmas
Christmas shopping,
shopping,
the game like, oh, maybe yes, maybe no. Either yes or no, you know.
And I know we do it all the time because you get on Amazon and you're like, ooh, I could save $50 on this purchase if I sign up for an Amazon card.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do that, and guess what? You're in the middle of a house right now that just screwed up everything.
Exactly. So you should think real well.
Pay cash if you're going to be buying Christmas gifts,
especially to the holidays.
Yeah,
because it's too
rack
easy.
Up your credit cards.
Well, I just closed the deal Friday, and I closed with the buyers on Thursday, and the seller closed on Friday. So. Here I am getting on my emails and checking stuff, and I'm sending a message that says it's not funded yet. It's like, what do you mean it's not funded? We closed yesterday, okay? I'm like, oh, there's a condition. What do you mean there's a condition? This has been clear to close for a long time. Well, they went shopping. They did some kind of credit, so now we have to clear that.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's how important it is.
It is.
We already signed.
Yeah.
And here we're about to fund.
Till you close on that house and they hand you the keys.
Yeah. You don't have keys. It's funded.
Yeah.
I would recommend anybody that's buying a house out there, okay, if you just must have to buy that new furniture, that new refrigerator that is the double door. Why? Because now you have a bigger kitchen.
Sure.
Okay. God hope that's the case.
Yeah.
All right. Just wait a few days after you close.
Absolutely.
Okay. Don't rush.
Pay cash.
Or pay cash if you have the money available. But yeah, you have to be careful with those things.
Yeah.
Now, talking about supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, as you folks been taking a look at what's happening in the market, a lot of homes are still coming up.
Sure.
For sale.
Still a lot of signs out there.
But expensive homes. Okay. Now, there's this few, averages, in the 150, 100 and so that are creeping in little by little because let's be honest.
But it's the 3 and up market.
And that's tough for some folks. Don't rush into buying anything, but at the same time, don't take forever either because your real estate agents are trying to help you, okay? And they are expecting you to, be there for the appointments and all that kind of stuff for you to make a decision.
Sure.
Now, if you don't find the house that you want, of course, there's nothing you can do about that.
Sure.
All right? But don't put yourself in a point that you got three contenders and you just don't know who's the winner.
Sure.
Okay? That can be very frustrating for anybody.
Is it because it's the more expensive homes that this is a bigger problem? And what I mean by that is, obviously, if you're paying out more money for something, you want it to be more
better.
like what you want.
Yes.
You're like, dude, if all right, here's $100,000 for a house. You're like, okay, it's $100,000. There's going to be things that aren't right that need to be fixed up or need to be changed.
I always say, don't expect the Taj Mahal. You can make it the Taj Mahal later.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly. But when you're spending $300,000-$400,000 for a house, you're like, I want it kind of move-in ready.
Exactly.
And that's where it's like, well, it is move-in ready if you don't mind tile instead of wood floor or whatever it is. Yeah,
and that's very true.
Granite counters instead of quartz or whatever's
now,
in there.
On the other side, okay, or the quarter on that, folks. If you guys are out there looking for houses and you just don't seem to be able to find the right house, just do a remodeling loan if that's even available for you, okay? Because you can make the house the house that is not your dream 100% and it's just missing a few things, you can make it the house of your dream by adding a few things. And guys, you don't do that before you close. You do that after you close.
Sure.
It means the home is yours, and those things will be taking place afterwards.
Yeah, it's not like you buy a car and then you go and put a bunch of ground effects and things on it before you even bought the car.
No, you do it afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and also keep in mind, because that's the problem, because what is the reason why some of the expensive homes are popping up, because they're way nicer. Let's be realistic.
Sure.
Okay. And don't feel so bad out there, guys, because if you go to Carlsbad, those $350,000 homes and stuff like that, in $300,000, they're not even that as nice as a lot of people.
Yeah, you get in Eddy County where supply and demand was even bad before.
Remember,
COVID and everything
there are almost no house. They were like fighting for.
There's so many jobs and not enough homes to house the people.
You remember they go in the market the same day they're on contract.
People are living here and commuting to Carlsbad every day just because there's houses here and no houses in Carlsbad or Eddy County.
Like I always said, we're like in a bubble.
Yeah.
I mean, people need to pay attention to these things because we're literally like in a bubble for all kinds of different things.
And then when FLETC got involved, and they, of course, they have a certain standard with their homes, and and of course the people that come through, they're getting subsidies on BAS, BAH, and their government operations, and so they give them BAS and BAH or BAH in this case, and it's like, yeah, you've got to spend $1,300 a month on a house, and you're like, but if you don't, you're not getting $1,300, and so they'll go and pay $13 for a house that in the real market's probably only worth about $800 a month.
And the rent is getting expensive.
Yeah.
And because let's be honest, the folks are paying attention. Okay. I mean, if I was renting a home for $850 and now I can rent it for $1,200, why should I not do that? You know, I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, things are about to take place. As we know, the Feds, increase the interest rate, as we know. A handful of things have been taking place, so it's balancing out somewhat. Folks, what that means is that the interest ceiling interest rate, and what I mean is from 5.5% to 7.5% or even 8%, depending on the scenario or the type of mortgage you're doing, it went higher.
Yeah.
Okay. But what that means also is costing a little less because it's balancing out somewhat.
Gotcha.
And that's what we were expecting.
Are we starting to see like a little correction now in kind of things? A little bit.
For a moment, I was supposed to, and it didn't seem to be. And then last week, it kind of happened, all right? But then it seems to be that it's like balancing out way too fast. So what does that mean? It got positive, and we're hoping that stay positive, like better, okay, for a longer period of time. And it didn't seem to be.
Sure. Well, and how much is elections like this? Like the red wave or lack or thereof, whatever you want to call what happened.
Well, now
did that impact positively or negatively one way or the other?
Now, like they said, the orange guy.
Yeah.
Now that Trump, finally came out and said that he's going to do it, let's see what happens now to the market, okay? Because let's be honest, everything that's going on, the war, the Queen dying. I mean, a lot of people are like, "Well, that's in Europe." No, it affects us all.
Finance is all connected.
They're all connected.
We're a world market.
Okay?
We're all connected.
So everything that's happening in the market is going to be, the house change. I mean, this is a huge thing because the Democrat had a hold on everything. Okay, and now you saw how that affected everything too.
Sure.
So it's a matter of what's going to happen with the market and how everybody's going to be investing. And hopefully it gets better for those folks that, we have the 401ks and all that kind of stuff. So stay the course. Don't get too scared about stuff because it goes up and down. That's just the way it is.
Sure.
But there's some positive things happening. I mean, the house and everything, and now there are different people in power. So in some ways, to the market, it translates to somewhat a little more stability. Okay. Because let's be honest, it was just one power.
Sure.
And that's never good for any country.
Absolutely. You want the checks and balances.
Yes.
And when you don't have that, then that's when there's problems.
It affects it,
Yeah, exactly.
And the market, we discussed this a few months ago that California, Canada, Europe, all that stuff, that the sales from homes, declined. It did. And what is happening is it's going to affect the market as well. And that's what the Feds were trying to control. And let's be honest, the Feds did a lot of damage to the system in any way from the very beginning because of what they were trying to do. And they were putting way too much into it. And, it just keeps, rising. And like we always say, the balloon is going to pop eventually.
Exactly.
I have to give them some credit because what they have done, I think it may even work. I don't know if they were expecting to work faster, and what is happening in the market, ending up, maybe getting in a positive spin of things. We'll see how it develops this week. I'm counting on it to go lower again.
Gotcha.
But remember, the Fed may even adjust it again. So
it's still a little Wild West.
It's still
right
a little
now.
Wild West. Still, talking about Wild West. Talking about Montana and all that stuff that you guys were talking about.
Here. It's still a Yellowstone.
I mean, it's like you have to watch it. It's almost like that,
Gotcha.
But at the end of the day, guys, don't be afraid of that stuff.
Well, and you say this every month. If you need a house,
just go for it.
Then it's the time to get the house.
Yeah, just do it.
It doesn't matter what the market's doing, what the world is doing. If you need a house, then that's the time for you to get a house.
And if your lender is not communicating with you and it's not discussing these things and talking about what if or what is happening or what is the best scenario, and all you did is just basically did an application and you don't know nothing about what's happening, I'm sorry, you were the wrong lender, okay? You need to communicate with your lender. Your lender needs to be there for you and make sure that this is not going to be a bad choice for you.
Sure.
All right? And that's what I try to do.
It's a confusing enough process when you're going through a gauntlet of calls or having to talk to representatives in 30 different places and everything else. With you and Loan Depot, that's the difference. You talk to you. You're here. You've got the benefit of the local guy that you can walk in the office and sit down and have a conversation or talk about it, with the backing of the large company and the stability and security that comes with that. And I have a loan with Loan Depot. I know exactly how they work, and they're very it's one of these companies that started by a group of investors that wanted to do it different, and they've been doing it different.
What is it? The masters of the universe.
Yeah. And so it's a bunch of people that were in the financial world a long time and said, you know what, these people I can do this to benefit the people better. And that's really how the company's started and keeps going with. So you kind of get the best of both. If you like the fact that you got a strong national, one of the, if not the strongest national lending companies in the country now.
We number 2 largest non-banking, lending company in the United States.
There you go.
That's huge, guys.
It is.
I mean,
that doesn't say Chase or Bank of America in front of it. That's huge. Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. And to be able to actually be that big, and I was very excited. At first, I don't even think it's still even kind of like settling it down on me, because I'm actually brought a big bank to our area. I mean, this is a good thing, you know, and I'm very excited and proud that I was able to be part of that, you know. And my office is almost open. Okay, so
we'll be ready for Christmas, like a Christmas present.
I'm hoping that's the case. Well, it's been difficult with like contractors and stuff like that.
Supply and demand. You're dealing with the same problems everybody else is. Getting work done.
It happens to all of us. Okay, but at the same time, I'm not in such a rush because I'm so busy.
You're on the road. Like your office is where your phone is and where you are pretty much.
So because all that is being, a few hiccups here and there as far as like who's going to do this, who's going to do that.
Sure.
But right now they're like in the place to like, hey, let's get this thing done. So right now we're doing all the cabling, so getting everything set.
Get all highfalutin.
Because I need my bigger printer, dude. I mean, I'm on, what is it? I'm on 25 capacity when I need to be at 100% capacity.
Well, let's face it. Ink, pens, and paper is one thing you need because there's a lot of signing going on at the office. So
you're kidding.
Anybody that's bought a house knows that you need a fresh ink pen to get into that building.
We have pens.
Otherwise, you might run out of ink by the time you get done.
But it's exciting, folks. I'm opening an office where the Roswell escrow office used to be.
Yep.
Okay, so we're turning something bad for something good.
Yeah.
All right. So and it's a perfect location, and I believe I'm going to be able to do a lot of things for our folks here in town. And I've been doing that all this year, so I'm looking forward for what is going to come for the future.
Absolutely.
And everything looks very good. I love the company. Like I was saying, guys, we're number 2. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, it's a stable company, and and customer service, which is something in that world, is not always a given because, quite frankly, they don't need to because they run the show. And Loan Depot takes it from a different perspective. They're at the end of the day, they're trying to get you a loan and trying to help you. At the same time, not just giving you a loan to say, hey, we're making the stockholders happy because we gave all these loans. Oh, by the way, 50% didn't deserve them because they're not qualified, but we got them. That, I mean, then we get back to Fannie Mae stuff and all that. But that's where you got people that are investing in people, doing stuff with people, but making smart decisions, and also people that aren't qualifying. And this is where Elliot really comes in. He helps you, and this is something Elliot's been doing. Doesn't matter what company he works for. He's always sat and said, if I'm going to work with you and you're not ready, you're not physically able to buy a home today, I'm going to give you the plan that you can come see me in a set amount of time, and we're going to get you in a home if you are committed to what we want to do here.
Mm-hmm.
And not a lot of lenders will do that. They're just like, oh, nah, you don't qualify. Good luck to you. See you later. Good luck to somebody else.
I never understood that. I mean, every loan counts.
Mm-hmm.
I used to sell vacuum cleaners and Electrolux. Okay, I mean, this is like you go door to door and you go everywhere.
You've had a lot of doors slammed in your face, I'm guessing.
Oh my God! Trust me, and it changed the perspective of life when it comes to work.
Sure.
I mean, I believe there's this saying in our business: either you have it, or you don't have it, and that's just a fact.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the temperament to actually take care of customers,
some people are
and
meant
be
to
patient.
do it, some aren't.
Oh yeah, some people can't. I know a few that shouldn't be doing what I do. Anyway, but the thing is this: the tools are there, okay, and the government has given us tools, and programs to help some of the folks that are not as in a position that is so easier for them, okay. But at the same time, we are there to make sure that they don't do something stupid either.
Sure.
Okay. Also, folks, the government do actually, monitor and control how much we spend on any loan at any given time.
Oh, yeah, you're heavily regulated.
So you don't just, so if you're spending a bunch of money, it doesn't seem to be like, oh, it just keeps costing more and more and more and there's no stop. Okay, I'm sorry, that doesn't sound right, okay? Because that's one of the biggest pet peeve of me. Like, I want to make sure that you don't spend too much, okay, and give you the best option, at the moment.
Sometimes we get so excited in the ability that we can, we don't remember. We don't stop to think if it's the right move. And some people get so excited that they're approved for a home. Like it's great, but now you're buying or doing something that at the end of the day, you probably bought too much or did too much, and you took too big a bite that first time. And I get it. We all want the American dream, and we want it now. And so you sell yourself in your head that you can afford that house that okay, just because the lenders, did the math and said, and this is the difference, because we're running short on time, but this is the difference. Elliot will sit there and say, in theory, you can afford it, but guess what? If you pay this much for a month for your mortgage, how are you going to buy furniture? How are you going to manage your other bills? How are you going to manage the lifestyle you want? Do you want to have furniture in this house? Do you want to have food and something to cook it with? I mean, it's
true.
And there's philosophy. Some people, if you're young and dumb and don't mind living in a big house with a couple of card tables and an egg crate to sit on, some people don't mind that.
So go ahead.
If you're going bigger and better and shooting, and you want to do it that way, but most families aren't down with that. So and that's where you gotta.
I have to bring a guy, to a little more of a reality situation. This very same weekend. They're going higher. For 450. Higher than what they should. Not because you and I said this before. Not because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right.
Okay. And the reason you haven't chosen a home is because your inner person is telling you, no, you can't.
Sure.
But you still want those.
Well, it's a scary moment.
It's
to buy
very
your first,
scary.
How many people got sweaty palms and sweating when they're signing those first paperwork, that first house that they buy?
I told him, you know what? We should have got a house 3 or 4 months ago already. And you haven't. And I gave you some leeway into now because I didn't think I should. Because I told you this, and you guys keep going higher and higher. And you need to bring it back down to here, and that way you're comfortable.
Sure.
Okay? Because I can read it. I've been reading it for weeks.
Absolutely. It's poker. You're reading the table and reading the room.
We do that here. Being a few, we need to talk to Thomas.
He's in the other room.
But you know what, guys? Don't be afraid to buy a house. If you have a lender that cares for you, he's going to go the extra mile. Okay?
Absolutely.
Like, I uncover every stone. I mean, I just making sure everything is in place.
Sure.
And guys, I don't play checkers. I play chess.
Yeah, you go to bat for your people.
I think about all the extra moves and all these different things that are going to happen just in case.
Yeah, you go above and beyond, and if you can't make it happen that day, then you give them the tools, the path to get to where they want to get to.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Exactly.
Because you never know. I rather you close a home 5 days or 10 days afterwards, and you close 10 days sooner, and you bought the wrong house because you just rushed and you were too you took too many chances that you should have never took.
Get it right is always better than get it fast.
I agree.
I know we live in a world where sometimes
folks,
don't feel that way.
I'm quick. If anybody wants to check and see my stacks in there, go on Facebook and see. I got deals that I got clear to close in 17, 15 days. I mean, even had one on 4 business days. I remember when my old boss, we were talking about, hey, I beat him, because, I did one that it was quicker than anything that they ever done.
Yeah.
And if everything falls in place and all the stars align, guys, we can close the loan super fast.
Nice.
Okay. But take your time and do the right thing for yourself.
Absolutely. Reach out to Elliot. You can call him. Like I said, the office is still being worked on, so probably call him directly on his cells. Probably the quickest, fastest way to get a hold of Elliot. Reach Elliot Rodriguez with Loan Depot at 719-237-4680. Again, that's 719-237-4680. Or you can email him, Elliot Rodriguez at loandepot.com. Again, that's all one word, Elliot Rodriguez at the little ampersand, loandepot.com. Or go to his website, which is loandepot.com/Elliot Rodriguez, all
Correct.
one word. And you can go and read all the stats.
Oh, and there's
learn
some
more.
really good information in there, folks. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah, and if you're scared, read that. And he can kind of, and he'll navigate you through all that. And who knows, maybe a home for the holidays here.
I know. 2022 is still alive.
That's right.
Still
a little time.
We're not done for the year yet.
Yeah. Still more damage to be done.
I know. I can't wait to start saying almost the last customer of the year. I can't wait for that because
about a month away.
I want this year to be over with and let's start fresh. Let's start fresh.
Let's see if we can start over here. But thank you, Elliot, as always. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Same to you. Same to you, all you guys out there. Happy Thanksgiving to all you all.
Absolutely, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for having me.
It is 8:56. Quick break of news and ads before more news. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Sorello. A southeastern New Mexico woman could go to prison for 4 years. Carmen Gallegos was found guilty last week of conspiracy to smuggle guns into Mexico. Court documents show Gallegos, who also used the name Carmen Salazar Andujo, took part in the plan to buy 23 guns over a 2-month period and illegally smuggle them from the U.S. into Mexico. Gallegos was arrested at the Isleta port of entry on October 31st last year. She admitted during the arrest that she accepted $538 to smuggle the guns. The Artesia Bulldogs are now moving on to Farmington as the top team in the 5A playoffs after defeating Deming 49-12 in the Saturday semis. Deming could not overcome 4 turnovers in the first half alone, while Artesia seized on the opportunity to score. The Bulldogs never trailed in the game. They now travel to Farmington November 26th to face the Piedra Vista Panthers in the championship game. The Panthers defeated Roswell Saturday 13-7. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Attention, Artesia and Roswell. The Backyard Butchers are here, and they're ready to help you fill your freezers with 20 ribeye steaks for just $39. You heard that right, 20 ribeye steaks for only $39. That's less than $2 a steak. Look for the big white truck in the parking lot at Tractor Supply Co. in Artesia and Tractor Supply Co. in Roswell. Stock up, fill your freezers, and save. 20 ribeye steaks for just $39. And that's not all. Get bulk meat specials on beef, chicken, and seafood. Just look for the big white truck in the parking lot right now at Tractor Supply Co. in Artesia and Tractor Supply Co. in Roswell. Hurry before they sell out. Get 20 ribeye steaks for only $39 and lots more great bulk deals on beef, chicken, and seafood. Read reviews, chat with our seasoned butchers, and find all locations and info at backyardbutchers.com. Backyardbutchers.com. Cash, credit, debit, and EBT accepted.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
Big O Tire's Black Friday sale is here. 3 Fridays, 3 weeks, 21 days to buy 3, get 1 free on select in-stock Mesa tires with installation purchase. That's right, buy 3, get 1 free on select in-stock Mesa tires with installation purchase. Hurry in now through December 4th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charge is extra. Required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for details.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio is KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to play our interview we had with John from Maurice's Computers. That's up next. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. It's a split decision for the 2 largest railroad unions in the country. Engineers accepted the deal that will deliver 24% raises, but conductors rejected that contract. And today's votes threatened the health of the economy just before the holidays. They also cast more doubt on whether the industry will be able to resolve the labor dispute before next month's deadline without the help of Congress. For the first time since the Apollo program 50 years ago, a NASA spacecraft has reached the moon. Earlier today, the Orion capsule with 3 test dummies aboard passed within 80 miles of the moon. It's a test run before humans are scheduled to take a similar flight in 2024. Shock and sorrow continue to grip residents in Colorado Springs after Saturday's mass shooting at a nightclub left 5 people dead and many more wounded. Speaking at ABC's Good Morning America, Colorado Springs Mayor John Suthers said they are still investigating motive.
It has the trappings of a hate crime, but we're going to have to see what the investigation shows in terms of, social media and things like that to make a clear determination exactly what the motive was.
A shooting suspect is in custody. China's southern city of Guangzhou is trying to tamp down a major COVID-19 outbreak.
The metropolis has suspended public transportation and is requiring residents to show a negative COVID test if they want to leave their homes. China is the only major country in the world still trying to curb virus transmissions through strict lockdown measures and mass testing. One district in Guangzhou has also suspended in-person classes for schools and sealed off universities until Friday. In Beijing, the capital has reported 3 COVID-19 deaths, the first ones in more than 6 months. I'm Donna Warder.
Adam, what are you thankful for? Great question, Nick. My new son Henry, eating too much of Mom's pumpkin pie. I'm grateful that Legacy Box has been able to help millions of people safeguard their important recorded moments. And with our Black Friday event that starts now, more families can enjoy digitizing their home movies and pictures with an insane 65% off. Legacy Box is the best gift for you or a family member. It's what Better Homes and Gardens calls the most sentimental gift to make this holiday season special, and what Reader's Digest called a genius product. That's because Legacy Box is simple and safe, and we digitize everything by hand. You'll get your originals back, plus digital copies that protect your treasured tapes, film reels, and photos from floods, mold, even the decay of time. So while the stuffing is in the oven, make sure to visit Legacy Box and shop our Black Friday event to take an unreal 65% off. With limited quantities ready to ship, this deal will go fast. Black Friday starts now at legacybox.com/lbox. That's legacybox.com to take 65% off. legacybox.com/lbox.
Hong Kong leader John Lee has tested positive for COVID-19 after meeting with other regional leaders at the APEC Forum in Thailand.
A government statement says Lee tested negative throughout his 4-day stay in Bangkok, but his test upon his arrival at Hong Kong's airport on Sunday night was positive. Lee is now in isolation and will work from home. Other officials at his office who went to Thailand with Lee all tested negative. Lee's aim at the Forum of Asia-Pacific Economies was to promote Hong Kong's image as a city reopened to the world after imposing severe COVID-19 restrictions for much of the pandemic. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
North Korea's foreign minister is slamming the United Nations chief for condemning the North's recent intercontinental ballistic missile test. The official calls Antonio Guterres a puppet of the United States. The Dow is down 96 points. News and analysis at townhall.com. Democratic Representative Hakeem Jeffries has launched a bid to become the first black person to lead a major political party in Congress.
In a letter to colleagues, Jeffries gave a nod to the figures before him. Pelosi, the first female speaker in U.S. history, and her leadership team. He encouraged his fellow House members to embrace a, quote, once-in-a-generation opportunity to unleash their full potential as a team. And he pledged to draw on the diverse Democratic caucus as it works to govern in a divided Congress and win back the majority after House Republicans seize control in the midterm elections. Along with Pelosi, the other top two House Democrats, Representative Steny Hoyer of Maryland, the majority leader, and Representative James Clyburn of South Carolina, the whip, also announced their intentions to step down from the top spots. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
President Biden is minutes away from pardoning the national Thanksgiving turkey in a ceremony at the White House, and later the First Lady will receive the official 2022 White House Christmas tree. More at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's not fun to say, but it's a holiday week.
It's a lot more fun to say this week.
It is. It's not as bad. The kids are off school right now, and some parents as well.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's got short-itis. They're going to try to put in a day's work today, maybe tomorrow. But by then, it's game. No one cares about nothing after tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're all about Thanksgiving, and
That's true.
Will be till next week.
Yeah, unless you work in this business, then you have to front load everything.
Yes.
So you got to cram everything into 3 fun-filled days.
Yes, exactly. Cram it into our cranberries. But
by the way, now would be a good time to, if you haven't already done so, move your turkey from the freezer to the refrigerator.
Depending on size of that bird, too, you might be behind the 8 ball.
It's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
You might have to do alternative methods.
They gave my son a 22-pound turkey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's they?
My kid's school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I know. I'm like, dang.
What are you going to do with it?
They're going to donate it because they already had a turkey.
Oh, good.
They went to Mom's house and they already had a turkey. So, yeah, they're going to donate to the city.
Well, that's nice.
I thought about taking it with me, but it's like, I'm sure they have the bird in Oklahoma.
I would think, but quite frankly, by the time you get there, that bird should be prepared.
Exactly.
Here it is.
Hey, everybody, I brought a problem.
We're kind of doing that.
Yeah.
We're bringing the ham, but it'll be thawed. You just got to, of course, that only takes 3-4 hours to cook a ham. So
yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
It's already cooked.
Ham is such an easier thing than turkey.
It is.
Although I got to say, I'm a huge fan, and I learned about this technique last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge fan of doing this. If you're going to do a turkey, spatchcock it.
Oh, yes. Butterfly it?
Butterfly it, cut that spine out, and then you just spread it out wide. Not only do you get better coverage for like your base or whatever you put on top, your seasonings, but it cooks like a fraction of the time. You get done in like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I've heard it's, but
plus
you got
it's
to
fun
be,
to say.
But I think you have to be more attendant.
You have
to it.
You have to pay more attention, a little bit.
Because the other way you kind of forget it for
set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I think you have to consistently baste it. Like you have to keep rebasting it, or like
Sure. It's the same concept with pigs. Some will put them on the spit and everything, and then you get the ones that will butterfly or spatchcock is the term he uses, and put it on the grill or bury it that way.
Yeah.
So, and it's the world of barbecue and cooking. And turkeys, smoking turkeys and all this, I think falls in that same category. To every barbecuist, they're going to tell you, everyone you meet, they're going to tell you a different way that they think is it's as bad as brisket.
Right.
You get 50 people with a brisket recipe, it's going to be 50 different recipes. Some will trim the fat, some don't with the fat. Some say put it upside down, some others don't put it upside down. Some say dry rub only, some say inject and dry. I mean, you get 50 different opinions.
And everybody's is absolutely right.
And you know what? And that's just it. If it's good, then they all are right. And that's the way I look at it. I'm like, I don't care how it got here. If it got here, then we're good.
I think that lends itself more to the bird itself. Like you really can't. It's hard to mess up if you do it. If you know what you're doing, it's hard to mess up a turkey.
It's easy to mess up if you don't time it right. That's all. But if you think you're going to knock out a turkey in an hour, then you're in trouble. That's the problem. Is people defrost it Wednesday morning, and then they think they can, you know what I mean. Then it turns into a nightmare if you prep it and put it in the refrigerate, and then do all those things that they got 50 reminders on Facebook for you now to do. And if push comes to shove, there's always the Butterball hotline.
Yep. Once again, the crew is manning the lines, ready for your phone calls.
Are they there all year or just during the holidays?
Just during this time of year?
Are they temp staff or these people?
From what I've gathered, they hire like 2,000 people just for like this week.
Okay. I wonder if that's a tradition for those two. Like, do these are the same 2,000 for the most part?
I don't know.
It's time to go work the hotline again.
I've been doing hotline work for
I imagine there's. I wouldn't say all 2,000, but I bet there's a percentage of those people that it's tradition. They go work the turkey hotline, for a week or two every year. Because I imagine it's during Christmas and Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah. It's let me see.
Although I think that ought to be a campaign for Butterball. I think they ought to say, we're going to fire up the Butterball hotline in the summer. We're going to turkey in July, and they do a whole turkey in July campaign.
Well, I can tell you that for 25 years, Butterball Turkey Talkline director Mary Klingman has spent Thanksgiving Day dishing out advice to panicked cooks. So in this case, she's done, she's definitely done it a number of years. She said, Mary has turkey on her mind 10 months before the rest of us do. She goes to work in January, analyzing the previous season's stats, updating manuals, and lining a crew of operators, all women. I've never heard of a man applying. She says, I think we scared him off. Most callers ask about thawing, and pep talks are a big part of the job.
I think what it is the men are the customers. They're the ones calling and asking the questions. And
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Hey,
I got family coming over in an hour.
I'm putting oil in this pan. Do I fill it right to the tippy top before I put this frozen turkey in there? Every year they do that. Every year the firefighters show you how bad that is.
Yep.
But every year some idiot does it. And you're just like, at this point, if you don't know, you deserve it.
You would think, by the way, as many of those demonstrations as the fire department has done, you would think they would stop having mannequins put the turkeys in. I mean, that's your problem. You guys, there's no personal touch there. He's not doing it right.
Well, it's like blow drying your hair in the bathtub. If you don't know at this point, then that's on you.
Yeah.
And I feel like the frozen turkeys were there now. If you don't know that if you've got a turkey pot, the fryer pot, and then you fill it up with oil, and then you put a frozen turkey in there, and you wonder why flames and explosions happen everywhere. If you don't know that science by now, then you should not be cooking food.
That's true.
You just call DoorDash and get something delivered.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
They'll bring it straight to your door.
Exactly. You're not worthy of cooking turkey.
What is your favorite alternate turkey preparation? Like versus like smoked or deep fried? Which do you prefer?
Deep fried.
Yeah.
Because I don't have it as often.
That's true.
I've only had it a couple times.
I've only ever had it like once or twice, but I love smoked turkey.
I do too.
There's something about
I do too.
Turkey is one of those inert meats that just absorbs whatever flavors you put in or around it.
Turkey's an amazing piece of meat. I love turkey. And I like it smoked. I like it, but yeah, I would covet it fried because I don't have it fried as often.
It seems to be.
And the times I've had it, it's delicious.
It does seem to be a little juicier when it's deep fried.
If you do it right. Yeah, if you do it right. I've had dry, but I've had it where it's like fried chicken, where you bite into it and it's all moist and juicy, and you're like, man, Colonel's on this one. And yeah.
It's funny that, this is kind of slightly off topic, but TikTok has introduced such weird food trends to the world. Like, have you ever seen how somebody will like prepare something, get it all crispy, and then take their knife and scrape it across the top. That's like a big thing on TikTok.
Is
now.
it?
Yes. And I was
to show the crispiness.
To show, yeah, shing shing, to show how crispy, like the sheen of the crunch or whatever. And I noticed I did that this weekend. I made grilled cheeses for the kids. I was like, "Look, Rhiannon." But that, and the other thing is, you take it and you cut it in half, cut whatever meat or whatever you're in half, and you fold it on top of itself, and you squeeze the juice to show how juicy it is.
That's the other.
These are two
camera moves.
TikTok food trends that have really taken off.
Okay,
everybody scraping their knives across things.
So note to self when you're showing your food pics online there. Do these things.
So I'm just telling you, if you want to be, next time you're around your little sister, little brother, and you want to show them, like, you want to be hip, be cool, be like, one of the cool TikTok kids, take out a knife and just scrape it across a crispy surface, you'll be a hero.
There you go. You know what that reminds me of? As a fan of radio, one of the shows I used to listen to was Don and Mike show, and they had clips they famously would play over the years. The Casey Kasem, death dedication. The Bill, what's his name, with the Do It Live, current affair, all that. One of those was Colonel Harlan Sanders recording a commercial. I'm going to say 60s time frame, and so he's in the radio booth there. And he kept saying, "Our chicken's the crustiest. It's got the most crispest crust." And he kept saying crust. And by the time he said crust so many times, I'm like, I don't want to eat chicken ever again.
I don't ever want it. That's horrible.
But the word crust does not translate in chicken talk.
I think we've had this conversation. Yeah, crust or crusty is not a good description for really anything except for pie.
Yeah, pretty much.
And even then you got words like flaky.
Yeah, that
work way better, yeah.
But he kept saying crust. The crust on this chicken. You're like, ugh.
Because think about it. You ever heard somebody describe that crusty car salesman?
Yeah. Maybe it's Krusty the Clown's fault.
There you go.
Simpsons have ruined Krusty for all of us. So, like many other things in life, the Simpsons have ruined for us.
Exactly.
All right. We probably should allow time so I have time to play our interview. We're going to get you up to date with the weather here in just a minute. And then shortly thereafter, we're going to play our interview with John from Oasis Computers. He talks tech with us each month. And this time we talked a little tech, talked a little Black Friday shopping tech and, buyer beware type information. So some good tips there for all you that are out and about hitting for the latest cheap electronic technology on Friday or Thursday night, whenever the rule is now. I don't even know.
Do you think that man owns a long pant?
He does.
Does he?
I've seen him wear them.
Every time I've ever seen him come in, he's always wearing shorts.
I think he had pants last time.
I wasn't paying that close attention. Okay.
Yeah, khaki, if I believe.
Oh,
but don't
that's
quote
fine.
Me on that.
They blended with the skin tone.
It did.
But it's just every time I've ever seen him, he's always in shorts.
Nude colored pants.
The man knows how to rock a short pant.
Well, he's probably in the back with those hot computers all day.
That's, you know what, you're not wrong. The same thing I saw Tanner the other day. It was freezing cold and he was wearing shorts. I'm like, oh no, that makes sense.
He stands in a room with hot machines all day.
He works with hot machines.
Yeah. Ooh, Hot Wheels, hot machines.
Hot machines.
I think it's the next level.
Micro Machines, Hot Wheels, come together.
There you go.
Hot machines.
Thanks, John, for solving that. All right, 9:17. Here is your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Generally fair for the next couple of days, although we may have a little bit of cloud cover early today, but sunny this afternoon as high pressure moves in from the Intermountain states. It'll be a little on the cool side, our high in the mid-50s. Down to the mid and upper 20s and clear for the overnight hours. We're back up to about 60 with sunshine on Tuesday. It'll be sunny on Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. And currently, I got to refresh because that's last hour's weather. Currently, 30 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 92%. Winds at the moment out of the southeast at 3 miles per hour. We do have a freezing fog advisory. That's going to remain in effect through 10 o'clock this morning. Still a little foggy out there. So, good reason for that. Of course, it will be warmer today. Sunny, high of 56. Winds out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight. Overnight low of 26 degrees with south winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tuesday, Even warmer tomorrow. Mostly sunny. Highs near 60. Yeah, downright pleasant tomorrow. Winds out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 30. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. For Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, mostly sunny. 64 for a high. Northwest winds 5 to 10. Thanksgiving Day, a little bit cooler. Sunny skies, 58 for a high. And then looking at Friday, sunny 62. Weekend looking nice as well. Sunny 67 on Saturday. Sunny and 68 on Sunday. All right, it is 19 minutes after 9. We're going to take a 3-minute break and then play our interview with John from Oasis Computers on the other side. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
December 17th is National Wreaths Across America Day. On this day, wreaths are placed on the graves of fallen veterans around the country. Locally, American Legion Post 61 has a goal of placing 300 wreaths on the graves of veterans in Roswell, with special attention paid to veterans at Memory Lawn Memorial Park. Please help American Legion Post 61 by sponsoring a wreath this holiday season. Cost is only $15 per wreath, but the important thing you need to know is to get your sponsorship in by November 29th. Log on to roswelllegion.org to sponsor a wreath today. Thank you for helping support our mission.
ENMU Roswell welcomes new and returning students to register online and on campus for the spring 2023 semester. Prepare for brighter days ahead and learn new career skills in arts and sciences, technical and health education right here at home. Classes start January 17th. Talk with an advisor today. Call 575-624-7000 or log on to roswell.enmu.edu.
Success starts here. ENMU Roswell.
Mark your calendars, shoppers. The Yucca Blossom Christmas Jamboree is set for December 10th and 11th at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. Over 90 booths featuring all kinds of arts and crafts, candles, jewelry, clothing, keychains, home decor, kitchen and bath accessories, and so much more. Bring the family. There's something for everyone. Santa Claus will be there both days. There's plenty to eat and drink, too, with several food trucks on site. The Yucca Blossom Christmas Jamboree, December 10th and 11th at the Eddy County Fairgrounds, and paid by Eddy County Lodgers Tax.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And joining us in studio this morning from Oasis Computers, John's back with us. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
How's life at the shop this morning?
So far, so good. Little cool, but other than that, it's great.
Yeah. Well, I imagine this is where, because I know electronic devices can give off some heat. As a guy that works in radio here, I know that so I imagine if you fire up enough computers and things in there, you'll warm up pretty quick.
It's a lot better than what it used to be. I mean, they take a lot less energy and do a lot more.
This is true. Yeah, imagine
but
before you get downright hot in there in the summer sometimes.
No, that building there on 1703 North Garden is just very well built and very insulated.
Very good.
I just turned the heater on Tuesday.
Okay.
First time a heater was on this year.
Nice.
So Yeah, it's really insulated, I think.
Sometimes the older they built better, and the newer, and they built things to last.
Well, this one's been done right because it's always been warm in there.
Good.
It takes a long time before you need to heat it up some.
Well, if you need a few minutes to warm up, bring your computer and come on down, and he'll take care of you.
Right.
Yeah, John joins us once a month if you're not familiar, and we talk technology, we talk computers, what's kind of going on in the world of technology and computers and things. So that's kind of our focus each and every month here. And of course, if you are in need of computer help, whether it's getting a new computer or trying to resurrect an old one or something in between there, John can help with all of that kind of stuff. So
yep,
absolutely. So now that we're getting into the holiday season here, people are going to start shopping, and of course, you know what happens. Black Friday's coming up here, and we talk about this every year, but maybe we ought to remind folks as we're in that season here. There are some great Black Friday deals when it comes to electronics.
Yes, definitely.
But buyer beware. It's if you're buying computers and you get one for $200, don't expect it to be able to do hard work functioning things with the software that's in it.
I think that the thing to point out, starting with the holidays coming up, is there's stuff being sold that people think is a computer as they want it, and it's not.
Right.
Because we have one item being sold that has Windows, what is it called now? No, it slipped away. Windows in S mode.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard about it or whatever.
I've heard a little bit about it, yeah.
And I have a good way of explaining it. Windows in S mode gets only programs from the store, from the Microsoft store.
Gotcha.
You can't just install something else on it that you normally used to install.
You got to use their...
What is supposed to be safer, and it probably is, and it has some other benefits, it probably does, but it's not why people buy their computer. They want Windows to run. So the box says Windows on it, in S mode. What you can't really, it's like, okay, it's got Windows on it, but in S mode, I guess that's fine,
So if you don't mind going all Microsoft and doing all Microsoft and using...
No, I don't think that's quite the problem, the issue, because you don't want to do all Microsoft. You want to install QuickBooks on it, for instance.
Sure.
And you don't want to do the QuickBooks Online. Well, on S mode, you can't do that.
Gotcha.
So there's other examples for that. This just come to mind.
Sure.
But, anything you normally would want to put on it, it doesn't work. And that's why people buy Windows, because they know that will work with my stuff at least.
Right.
It may be changed. It may be different. It may be something else again. It may have some problems. But it does what I need to do. At least it used to. So if I buy Windows, I'm good.
So this S mode locks them out.
S mode. And that's not clear. So my argument has been, I'm fine with that. It is safer. It is better. It does other things. But it's not Windows, really.
Sure.
It's Windows in S mode.
Yeah.
What means that it doesn't run the regular programs you want. Now, most of them, no, not all of them, you can revert back to regular Windows Home.
Okay.
So you have to go to the Microsoft store. You have to have a Microsoft account, and then you can it doesn't cost anything, whatever. So that's partly the good thing about it.
So you can unlock it.
My argument would be if they would sell this in the stores like what they do, if they would call this new Windows, call it a new Windows if you want.
Windows Classic and Windows New.
They would call it Microsoft Doors. You get it? Windows Doors. Everybody would stop and go, what is Doors?
Yeah.
But you look at it and it says Windows, I must do what I want to do.
Sure.
If it says Doors, it's like, well, what is Doors?
Right.
Let me check up on that.
Of course, they make a lot of money on the assumption that people think it's regular Windows. I mean, how? Because
at least you can move it up to. Yeah. But I want to warn people for that doesn't do it. Now the next thing is that this is done in general on low-end machines. And I don't know if we remember the Chromebook, and then we had the Windows equivalent of that.
Yeah.
That was a low-end, lousy machine with no power.
Yeah.
Couldn't do everything. Well, this is part of the whole system still. Most of these in S mode are low-end machines, and then many of them have only 64 gigabytes of memory in it.
Gotcha.
Soldered on board because they're low-end and cheap.
Which means they're not upgradable.
Right.
Yeah.
And the memory soldered on board on those things. So you find those things around $200 and up and maybe even a little lower.
Sure.
But then they try to sell it to me because it doesn't do what it wants to do.
Right. And you're like, I can't do anything with this.
No, it's worthless to me, too, because that's why we warn
It's about
for
as good as recycling it for the parts.
Well, you can't hardly get parts off of it because they're all stuck on the board. You know?
I didn't know if the metals and everything might be worth the money.
Just put it in the recycle bin. No, the machine is from one point of view, it's a modern components in it.
Sure,
but not enough. You know, it's like putting your lawnmower engine in your car and you're going like, it doesn't do very good.
And then expecting it to do 75 on the highway.
Right,
Yeah.
so, you know, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And to me, it's a waste of effort, money, power, everything.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we buy other things to do low-end stuff with. You can use a tablet, your phone, whatever.
Sure. Yeah, the only scenario I could possibly see is someone may be okay with it is if literally it's just a person that gets on Facebook once a day, you know, maybe send some emails, something. They don't do anything other than rudimentary.
Yeah, but most people, you know, either people
computer.
are stuck in the old computer mind mode, whatever.
Yeah.
But most people start doing this stuff on a phone, on a tablet.
Sure.
Some people like a computer because screen a little bigger.
Mhm.
Low-end computer is fine for that, but I think that most people that go out for a computer, they have in mind to do something more that Windows does, whatever that is.
Like a family budget or something.
Whatever thing it is.
Yeah.
And they have some perception of what it should be, what it should do. And these machines can't do that. So it's, you know, buy a Chromebook if you want to just be online.
Sure.
And I think we're at the point where we're going to be more and more online.
Mm-hmm.
Do more of that, and slowly it doesn't matter what machine you really use.
Sure.
But there will be always some stuff left that we do on site. We want to keep it to ourselves. It doesn't need to go on the internet. And that's going by the wayside, I would say. Everybody wants you on their system as your member of Microsoft with a Microsoft account, Google account.
Everybody wants you on their
Facebook
team.
account. Yes, whatever.
Team Apple, Team Google, Team Android, Team Microsoft.
Right, because it makes money. They can route the advertising through that and whatever.
Yeah.
So they're pushing that too hard. It's so bad now that the new Windows 11 came out last year, and it was kind of, it looks different, but it really feels, acts, and does the same as Windows 10. Why? Is to sell more machines or what? Well, this year, about 2-3 weeks ago, the latest upgrade to Windows 11 came out, the new Windows 11, if you want to call it. And now suddenly all kinds of things are starting to change. It's like, what is this thing over here? What does this do? Well, you know, we already see some problems because it's changed, and then people don't know what they're looking at.
Sure.
And, you know, they have add buttons to it. Some buttons and things you could do are gone. You can't move your taskbar up and through the left, right side, top side. That's gone.
Huh.
But then slowly other things are adding back into it. I hear from Paul Thurrott from the radio show, you know, that he'd been fighting with it. And he's like, yeah, they took a whole bunch of stuff away that was very helpful. And now slowly they're adding it back in. It feels like they're going to get back to where they were to start with.
Well, it sounds like they tried something and people complained, and they said, all right, well, let's put some of that back in.
Well, some stuff has been rewritten. I don't know if it makes the software better, you know, because we have added to it and added to it and added to it. And once in a while, you need to scrap and just start up.
Sure.
But, you know, the old stuff has been kind of run through the mill, and we know that it's good by now, finally, because all the errors and problems and things we have had and fixed.
It's been put through its paces.
If you make something new, it has other problems in it again, of course. So.
Well, that's true in any technology.
Right.
It's not just computers. It's anytime you're pushing an envelope in technology and invention.
The feeling that we have is kind of, I guess, a sign of the times. Just like the election, man, we get tired of this stuff, and then nothing changed, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Microsoft world seems to be similar. Change. And what I hear from the customers that come in, it's literally more like, well, now what? Can you leave it alone for a little while?
Sure.
Stuff like that.
I'm just getting used to it. Don't,
Well, I got a feeling that the people that design it, make it, and do it are, 4 or 5 years ahead of us as they designers do it. So they're in this world, and to them, what we just getting now is done.
Sure.
Not old yet, but done.
Sure.
We go on to the next thing.
They're off somewhere else,
right?
And that's not on their radar anymore.
We have still a lot of people that run the older stuff before that, and they had trouble with it, running it. I've had some instances like, what is this new thing? What does it do? I don't understand. I don't get it. 2 or 3 years later, you read some article or get some info somewhere and go, oh, that's good. I can use it. I didn't know that. So then you start using it, and especially if it's a Google product, then you find that, nobody's using this, so let's get rid of this.
Yeah.
I'm just starting to use it. You didn't give me enough time to do it, you know. So stuff like that is what I run into. But the general consensus is tiredness of it changed again. And then, I don't know, what's Paul Thurrott, I think, too, on a radio show, on the show that he has. Mm-hmm. He was mentioning something, I think it was him. Let's just keep it the same and make it more streamlined so everything starts looking the same. In Windows, you have 20 different interfaces to copy and paste or whatever. If you pay attention to it, it looks the new style, and the Windows 3.1 style is still side by side showing up in different programs.
Interesting.
And they put up the word forward. It's like, now, get a 12, 13, 14-year-old Macintosh in front of you, a Mac, and put the new one next to it. How much different is it? It's different, but very, very little. It's basically, if you look at both at first glance, they're the same. They're not, but, stuff in the same place, stuff more or less acts the same. So sometimes we want a little bit more stability, maybe.
Sure. Well, you want, and this is human nature. We want the latest, the greatest, the ability to do everything. But we want it in a package that looks like something that we can relate to and are familiar with.
You got a point there. I think what's happening is that computers were the new thing, 40 years ago, started coming in, and people were like, what can you do with it?
Right.
And had no idea, and then some people figured out they could play a game with it, another figured out you could do the bookkeeping with it. Spreadsheets, that's a good thing if you're an accountant or something like that.
Look at this, we'll manage the household
program
finances.
that.
Yeah.
So then it got more mainstream. That's be used for communications a lot, internet stuff, whatever, talking to your friends somewhere, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so we got into the point where it's different for different people, of course, but this is what I use it for. It works great for me. Don't mess with it.
Right.
And then they mess with that, and now you're not productive no more because you come in and it needs to do this, and it's different, and you need to learn. Big business hates it.
And just when you have it down, they switch it again.
Yeah, big business hates it. They don't want to move. You get, your 200 workers in. They go all sit in front of the computer. The new Windows 11 has arrived. And it's like, what do I do now?
Right.
So there is 2 days of inproductivity that everybody has to get the hang of it, what it does.
Yeah.
The other thing is all the updates that have to reboot it again. You come in the morning. Okay, I'm in a hurry. I had the radio show. Let me wait a minute. I turn my computer on. It's already 8 o'clock, and now it needs to reboot. 5 minutes gone, and customers standing in line. I need my, that shouldn't happen.
Right.
Not that way, anyway, and not that often.
We should be at a point where it's smoother than this.
Right. Now, of course, if you're lucky, it waits 5 minutes to update. Then it reboots, and then it don't work at all no more.
Yeah.
We see that too. And it's like, I got work done on this thing, okay?
Yeah, it's at a point now where you see there's an update for your computer, and it used to be like, oh, cool, let's see what we're going to get. Now it's like, oh, no.
Not again.
What's this mean?
I have the Ring doorbell showing on a screen, and that's basically all that thing does. It just shows what's going on a little bit. And I like that. It sits there, and then you come in, and it's rebooted, and you got to start. It doesn't automatically go back to where the cameras are. You need to log back in. You need to do this. You need to do that. So you get it all set up, and then you go, okay, it works again. Are there more updates? Let me check. Oh, there's more. Well, let me get done with that. Then it reboots again, and you got to set it back up again, and you got to start over again. Does it. And then you go, okay, I'm good. I checked for updates. I double-checked, and there's no more, it says. The next morning, come in, and guess what?
There's some more updates for you.
You got to do it again.
Somebody needs to keep their job over there.
And then you know, you start going like, okay, is it working now? Yes, it is. Oh, good. You get just about a little used to it. Been working for 2.5 weeks now. Oh, maybe we're lucky. It stays on. Oh, no.
Just when you think you're out of the woods. But as we were kind of saying here with the Black Friday deals and stuff, if you're looking for new computers and stuff, that S mode on these Windows now, make sure, you know, if you're looking at it, you see a computer.
Make sure you understand what S mode means.
Yes.
If not, call me, ask me, whatever.
But if you're trying to do certain things with this computer, beware that you're probably not going to be able to do it once it's in S mode.
Right.
You know,
in my opinion, depending on what you do with it, the Celeron that's out is not too bad, but it's the low end. In my opinion, the computer that we use on our desk, like we're using them, or on a laptop, should have an i3 in it as the lowest processor. Should have a minimum of 8 gigabytes right now. 4 will work, but, 8 is better.
Sure.
And it should have, at least 120 gigabytes of memory, storage memory in it. I like 240, 250. That seems to work for 90% of my customers. 120 works for 60% of the customers. But that seems to run out. People don't store much anymore. Anywhere between 48 seems to be on the low end, up to 80 gigabytes. That's it these days. And then, of course, you got some that need, 200, 250 gigabytes. And then you got the occasional guy that has, 4 terabytes of stuff on it.
Yeah. Is the trends because more people are going cloud-based where they're using smaller?
Think of it. What did we do? We used to buy videotapes.
Sure.
And we had a whole wall full of videotapes,
Sure.
Then we went to DVDs. Well, the wall got smaller because DVDs are smaller. So.
Sure.
And then we got streaming, but we're still in the process of getting the streaming going, whatever. But more and more people watch just regular cable or over-the-air TV.
Yeah.
Or moving into streaming.
Sure.
And you can pick what you want. When you want it, you can pause it. Well, if you can do all that, you can buy your movie and redo it again, or you can rent it, or you can, whatever you call it.
Unless you just like a movie, what's the point of storing it and holding it?
Right, you can just go back to it, get it again. Software the same way,
Sure.
Still people come in and say, well, it doesn't have a DVD drive? Well, how do I put my software in? From the internet.
Yeah.
Just all the software
it's all
that
there
is
now.
current.
Yeah.
You can just log into your account, what in this case is a benefit, see what you have bought, and then re-download it
And that's
again.
got to be a generational mindset because, when we grew up, you get a computer and it comes with a bunch of disks, that hopefully they loaded up, but you needed as backups and all that.
Right.
And that's a different world now.
Backing up can go on the internet too.
Yeah.
I would recommend to have a local backup of stuff that's important too, because that can go wrong too. But what brings you to Microsoft with all the hate they get? I don't want on their account. I don't need to be on their account. And, they're forcing that now on it. Did I mention that already? That Windows 11 needs to be having internet to get even started?
Wow.
Yeah, let me talk about that. The newest iteration of Windows, the latest one from 3-4 weeks ago, if you set it up, you install it on a machine, and then you get to the point where it says, now sign in with your Microsoft account. If you don't have one, you can make one click here. And now I have no internet, so I'll go, back up like I used to, or do this, or there were some tricks to get by with it. And for the normal person, you don't get by with it no more. You have to put a Microsoft account to get it going. So I run into that, and the way I set the machines up, we sell ready machines with what we want on it, and people seem to like it the way we set them up.
Sure.
So I do that. Now, I don't know who I sell it to, so I can't call the machine Mike because I don't know if Mike's going to buy it.
Gotcha.
Pete may buy it. So if the username says Mike, I'm thinking Mike will come in and buy one. Yeah, well, no, there's so many different names. It doesn't work. So what we call it is just owner. That works. That's universal. And then if you want a Microsoft account, you can turn it into it. If you don't, well, then you're fine. You just have a local account. Most people seem to prefer that. At least when they start off and don't understand the Microsoft deal. So you're stuck with that. So I'm sitting there, well, what do I do? How do I set these machines up? So I sign in. I have a demo account that I use to demo stuff with from Microsoft. So I put it up with a demo account. And the minute it's set up, no drivers up, nothing else done yet, just Windows is installed and it seems to barely run. That point, make a new account and change that account to an administrator, and then log out of the machine, log back in, and then sign in with the new account that was called now owner. Okay. Then since it's an administrator and you log in with that account, delete the other account back off.
There you go.
Erase it, delete it, and then you have the same thing again.
You just basically put a new guy in charge.
Yeah, you just knock the other one that wanted access to it out. And I have the feeling that's not going to work too long in the future. I don't know, 2 years, 5 years.
But for now, it's
it's a fix that I can do. The point really is, why do you need to do that? Just set 2 Mac machines up. And I started realizing they do the same thing, but they give you the option. You want the local account or the Apple account. You can always add the Apple account later to it.
Gotcha.
So they give you the option, and we're coming back like with the Xbox. There was the guy in the submarine complaining, but the Xbox had to be online. What is this, 5-6 years ago or something like that?
Yeah.
And this guy called in to Microsoft and said, "Hi, how do I set this thing up? I'm in my I'm underwater.
I'm in the middle of the Pacific,
and I have no connection, and I can't use this thing. Is there not a way to get? No, you got to have internet." Once you have internet set it up, you can use it without internet, but you got to have to start with it internet.
So you have to wait to get to port there to plow them on
now, there's
internet.
a lot of benefit of having a Microsoft account, especially if you use the OneDrive, the online storage. You have 5 gigabytes, 10 gigabytes free storage, something like that.
Sure.
And I ran into it myself once. I had a problem with my machine. I look at it and say, "What's on here?" Nothing. It's all stored somewhere else. Well, a few downloads, a few things. They're getting old, whatever. What is this on my desktop? It's for my router. Oh, yeah, that controls the router. Well, I can redo that, right? That's not a problem. So I went like, fine, just delete it and reinstall Windows, whatever the problem. I don't know what it was, but reinstall Windows. I get done with that. It's on a Friday, and I go like, I need to change the passwords on the stuff, on the wireless. The ones that we use in public, I change password every week, so it just can't come back in.
Security.
Yeah, just whatever. Sounds like a good idea anyway. So I go there and I go, that's gone. Stupid. Well, it couldn't be. Oh, wait a minute. How does this work? You do it so little that you just do one thing, change password every day, but to get the whole thing set up, it wasn't quite clear on this particular item how it works. Every time I get back to it, it's a year and a half later and go, how was this done? And you got to recheck it up. So I got a hold of an article that explained it real well. Don't lose this file. If you do and you have 200 machines hooked up, you need to redo all 200. If you have the file, you can copy it, you can use it, you can open it, and then all your settings and everything stays in there.
Gotcha.
Oh, God, now I got to go by and set the stuff back up, So anyway, it's
hard
Friday.
lesson learned.
Well, no, it gets better. I go like, well, I'll do that tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, whatever, I have the time for that. We're closed anyway. So I come back in the morning, and I go like, okay, let me fix this first. I need to have, what? The file is back on my desktop.
It just showed back up, huh?
Yeah, and it's like, now wait a minute. I know I wiped it clean. I know it was nothing left. Where does this file come from? What is the deal on this? I'll think for a minute and go, OneDrive? Do I use OneDrive? I never actively set it up. But if Microsoft says, you can use OneDrive, sign into it, a better idea, well, I'll try that and see what it does and go like, files go up there. So, great, wonderful, I'm not using that. Fine. So then you run in this situation and you go, thank God, this is pretty good because that saved me a couple of hours work here. and it comes back. If you log in with your Microsoft account, if you use the Microsoft account, you make sure that it works as they intend to with the OneDrive. Your main files that people use go automatically in that OneDrive. Now that is changing too, because suddenly here for the last half a year, we start missing files. We look on the documents, nothing in it. We'll keep on and off running in it. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I'm starting to slowly get the hang of it. If you can find it and they have OneDrive file on it, look in OneDrive, and underneath it you see desktop, my files, and my documents, and maybe photos, and everything is in there.
Gotcha.
So I'm not sure what they're doing, but they seem to be pulling, depending on what you tell it to do, out of the regular, what do you call it, format, where you expect your files to be, username, and then, documents and whatever.
Sure.
It's gone out of that and gone under OneDrive. And the good thing is, in general, if it's there, it's also online.
Sure.
But, it's a little panicky if you can't find your files. Now, if you normally use it, the computer knows it's changed in there, and it just picks it up out of the other bin, if you want to call it that way. It's not here anymore, pick it over there.
Right.
But that's very confusing if something goes wrong, and then you go like, do you have documents? Yeah, and photos. Okay, a whole lot of photos. Can't lose them. They'll be on there. It's no problem. You look at the photos, nothing there.
Right.
And you know that the guy said, but I pull them up. Huh? What? So OneDrive, that's where they end up. Yeah.
Interesting.
So there's benefit of having that.
Just gotta,
but
play with it, learn it a little bit. Basically.
Yeah, and then you got the same situation again. If I finally figure it out where it is, it changes.
Change it on you again. Welcome to the world. Well, I just saw the time. We need to probably wrap this up here.
Yep,
so
it's getting the time.
But folks, if you are if you're going to be looking for the holiday deal on computers here, do your homework. John has said this every year. If you've got a question about a computer, he'll talk to him about it. He'll tell you if it's a good deal or not. And like he said in the past, if it's a really good deal, he might be right behind you buying one. But but if it's not, he'll also tell you that.
I'd like for you to know what is good, what is bad.
Sure.
You make a decision what you buy, but make sure you know what you're buying so it works for you.
Absolutely.
Because the low-end stuff we don't really want. For trade-in, whatever, you're better off getting the right one right away. It's hard to compete this time of the year with the big box places, whatever.
Sure.
So they have some hilarious good deals once in a while, and some that are not really a good deal.
It's a buyer beware situation.
Right.
It really
I got
is.
stocked up on used stuff pretty good. I can make some deals on that. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
The problem with the Windows 11 thing is that all these machines are a little older, but are very good machines. Well, in about 3 years, they can't run Windows 11, or not supposed to. They can. I've got Windows 11 running on my machines that can run it, and it runs so far just great.
Good.
But you don't really want to. You don't know what the future brings.
How long is that loophole going to work?
Yeah,
exactly.
But anyway, so these machines go fairly inexpensive, are pretty good, and they run Windows 10. Can run Windows 11 if you want to take that risk, but that's what we have at the moment for this holiday season.
And of course, if it's repair or any or upgrades, he can help with that too, and all of that.
And then still the upgrade. You got a slow machine. I had a customer in yesterday needs some more help, and 2-3 months ago, I put a solid-state drive in there, and he just couldn't get over it, how good that machine was now. Man, it's amazing, he said.
That's kind of like that light bulb moment for a lot of people when they go from the spin-ups to a solid state.
Yep.
And they notice that instead of 5 minutes for their computer booting up, it booted up in a minute or less.
If it's old, literally 15 minutes before it finally gets caught up with everything in that same machine, old and, it's like no good. Put a spinning drive in a minute.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is. It's a night and day difference.
And it stretches out to the repair part of it. I've been for a while there. It's like, okay, when is it done? Tomorrow morning. Well, they don't want to upgrade the drive. They have an old drive in it, and you need to just put updates in it. And it takes darn 2 days to get them all in, whereas on a normal machine, 3 hours will be done.
Sure. And you've learned the lesson. Sometimes you just got to let it do its thing. And once it does its thing, sometimes it'll just fix the problems you were having if you just let it.
That's
and if it takes a day,
problem these days.
Yeah.
It did not waiting long enough with the updates, but especially if it had the old drive in it.
Yeah. But again, John can help you with all of these things.
We can do that.
Come on by. He works mornings for customer service and
we're
things.
We're open from 8 till 12. I try to leave at 12:30. I'm not in as much as a hurry anymore. I've got the home situation is a little better.
Oh, good.
So if it runs a little later,
you got a little more free time to take care of business.
Yes, you know, I at one point I wanted to leave at 12:30, get out of there, need to get home, need to take care of something.
Sure.
And if it turns into 1 o'clock now, it's not
the end of the world.
No, it's you know, we like to get our schedule steady.
Sure, you want to keep the routine.
You know, if it's a little busy, I don't have to kick everybody
out. A little more
It's
flexible
just,
if life happens, basically. So
I don't have to necessarily be at home at that time.
Yeah. So Mondays, Monday through Friday, come on by. They're on Garden. Call. What's the phone number?
575-625-9141.
Very good. Call.
And of course, the afternoons, if we have emergencies and special appointments, whatever, we can work with that.
Yeah, the afternoons are his. He's in the shop working on the bigger problems that he got from earlier in the day.
And then, you know, like this last week has been fairly quiet. Some people drove up, and if I notice that somebody drives up and I'm sitting there with that one item that I'm finishing off, I don't mind stepping outside and say, well, you need.
Yeah.
But, you know, don't count on it too much.
Sure, that's not a regular thing. That's the exception, not the rule.
No, if it gets too busy, I need that time to get the stuff done.
Yep. There's a reason why he has the schedule the way he has the schedule to begin with. But, yes, come on by mornings. And like I said, you know, in the afternoons, if you've got, and he'll do house calls for like networking and all those stuff. That's his afternoons.
And everybody's doing social media of some kind, whatever, to contact me. You old-fashioned way. I guess I'm getting old myself or something. Call on the business phone number, and you get a response. If I don't answer it, I'll try to call back.
Absolutely. So, but definitely, whatever you need, whether it's new problems or advice,
or just advice, yes,
he's got you covered. So.
Right.
Well, John, I'm sure you got a few things waiting for you at the shop there, so we'll let you get to it. And
I actually got a few, so I got it going. And supposedly somebody coming in pretty quick.
All right, well, we'll let you get to it. Thank you very much. As always, we'll see you next. Happy Thanksgiving if I don't see you between now and then. And we'll see you next month.
Yeah, we'll see you one more time this year.
One more in 2022 at least. So.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, John. We'll see you
You're
then.
welcome. Thank you. One more time this year.
One more in 2022 at least. So.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, John. We'll see you
You're
then.
welcome. Thank you.
It is 7:54. Quick break before we get you into news. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Sorello. A southeastern New Mexico woman could go to prison for 4 years. Carmen Gallegos was found guilty last week of conspiracy to smuggle guns into Mexico. Court documents show Gallegos, who also used the name Carmen Salazar Andujo, took part in the plan to buy 23 guns over a 2-month period and illegally smuggle them from the U.S. into Mexico. Gallegos was arrested at the Isleta port of entry on October 31st last year. She admitted during the arrest that she accepted $538 to smuggle the guns. The Artesia Bulldogs are now moving on to Farmington as the top team in the 5A playoffs after defeating Deming 49-12 in the Saturday semis. Deming could not overcome 4 turnovers in the first half alone, while Artesia seized on the opportunity to score. The Bulldogs never trailed in the game. They now travel to Farmington November 26th to face the Piedra Vista Panthers in the championship game. The Panthers defeated Roswell Saturday 13-7. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Greg Clugston. Former Disney CEO Bob Iger is the current CEO once again. The company rehired Iger after shares of Disney dropped 40% this year. He said he was thrilled to return and extremely optimistic about Disney's future. Company stock jumped almost 9% before the bell this morning on news of Iger's return. The nation's 2 biggest railroad unions voted on a new contract today. Engineers accepted the deal that will deliver 24% raises, but conductors rejected the contract. The votes now threaten the health of the economy just before the holidays and cast more doubt on whether the industry will be able to resolve the labor dispute before next month's deadline without the help of Congress. European and Asian financial markets were mostly lower in today's trading. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Greg Clugston.
Attention, Artesia and Roswell. The Backyard Butchers are here, and they're ready to help you fill your freezers with 20 ribeye steaks for just $39. You heard that right, 20 ribeye steaks for only $39. That's less than $2 a steak. Look for the big white truck in the parking lot at Tractor Supply Co. in Artesia and Tractor Supply Co. in Roswell. Stock up, fill your freezers, and save. 20 ribeye steaks for just $39. And that's not all. Get bulk meat specials on beef, chicken, and seafood. Just look for the big white truck in the parking lot right now at Tractor Supply Co. in Artesia and Tractor Supply Co. in Roswell. Hurry before they sell out. Get 20 ribeye steaks for only $39 and lots more great bulk deals on beef, chicken, and seafood. Read reviews, chat with our seasoned butchers, and find all locations and info at backyardbutchers.com. Backyardbutchers.com. Cash, credit, debit, and EBT accepted.
Hi, this is Mikey, General Manager at Roswell Nissan. During this Thanksgiving season, Roswell Nissan would like to thank all of our valued customers and thank you for putting your trust and confidence in Roswell Nissan. Roswell Nissan will be closed this Thanksgiving to spend time with our families and back to regular business and burning off all that turkey and gravy on Friday. We know you have a choice when buying and servicing your vehicles. Thank you for choosing Roswell Nissan. We won't settle for less than what's best for you. Happy Thanksgiving from all of us at Roswell Nissan.
Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
And that's going to do it for us. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have an amazing day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Take care, everybody.